Let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, we have 2 dev kits open. It's gonna be all kinds of nightmares tonight. And we haven't even gotten to the scary stories yet. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, we have 2 dev kits open. It's gonna be all kinds of nightmares tonight.
See if I can move the
We haven't even gotten to
microphone.
the scary stories yet.
Please don't fuck up.
It's open. It's gonna be all kinds of nightmares tonight.
See if I can move the
Nope.
microphone.
Let's see. Good to go, good to go, good to go. Move that over there. Oh my god, I need another monitor. Help. Send monitor. Kate, what's going on? Good to see you. Whoopsies. Give me some XX really quick while I set some stuff up. Okay, good. Solid. Let's see. Oh, I need to post that too. So people are like, why are you streaming so late? Because I had things to do. There we go. I hope everything goes well. We'll see. I need to also find where Snow put those videos, where the scary story stuff was. Maybe, nope. Where'd you put that? Snow Cherub, where are you? Oh, maybe you put it in general chat, probably. Or maybe not? It has been like a whole week, I think. Oh. Please. Okay, well, I don't know where they went. Snow Cherub, if you're there, send it. I'll look again in a second. I gotta finish setting some stuff up. Voidy, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. We're just chilling. I saw you guys playing, I think, Vermintide. Whoops, don't need that anymore. We may crash, by the way. I don't know. I have 2 dev kits open because I need to look at the other one in order to move my splines over. Or not splines, my material information over. Which is going to be a bit tricky. Oh, that's right. I was going to try to read chat on my phone. If possible. Which is gonna be a bit tricky. Hey, shut up. Okay, there we go. Just went through the tutorial. Oh, I see. Okay. What do you think of Vermintide so far? Let's see. Good to go. Oh, this is gonna be. Well, we'll see how it goes. Fix. Material, static mesh flowers. Looks great. Cakes, what's going on? Sorry, I've been busy. Busy. Here's a little thing. I was messing with flowers today. Tell me what you guys think. I literally replaced our grass with all flowers and was like, all right, Dave, it's done. Hey. Thanks for the 5 biddies there, Mr. Chaos. How's it going, dude? We should do more. Yes, Thorn, I want to do Vermintide with Glitch as well. Glitch Steel just got Vermintide, so I want to do Vermintide with him. This weekend's been super busy, plus I gotta do work tomorrow for wildcard stuff, so. No need for change. When we get the money, you totally should, Missing. Vermintide's a lot of fun, especially, I mean, the only frustrating part is when you die right at the end. There's no way you can't be upset with that. But how's it going, by the way, Missing? Good to see you. I'm down to perhaps play a little bit of Blade and Soul after the stream, maybe? We'll see. I'm kind of tired, but I've been I've had to do stuff today, plus setting these up has been a little bit frustrating. Because as you guys know, I'm not the blueprint man, but I'm practicing. I'm learning. Here we go, switch, no, go. Switch over to DevKit. Bell's been playing Vermintide as well. I don't like reading on my phone. I'm just gonna go back and forth. And hope I don't miss anything. Which I will. It's fun. I want to do some scary stories. I'd like to do a couple of them at least. Snow Cherub sent me a video, but I don't remember where it was because it was like in the middle of the week. So I really wanted to listen to some scary stories. They were all, I don't know, some sort of relation to each other. Playing Vermintide solo can get lonely? Totally, Thorin. No, we're totally gonna play. I think that's the most fun, is just playing with people you know, regardless if you win or lose. If you need a chat reading, I use Restream chat while streaming. It's handy. Yeah, I probably should set that up. That's probably a good idea. I honestly, this never happens where I need 2 dev kits open. So this usually won't happen. It's just, this is the one time. Let's see. I've been playing lots of Guild Wars 2. Dude, I love Guild Wars 2. No one still plays that, though. Dave and a few other people are getting into Black Desert Online, but that thing is just such a time sink. They're just playing it for fun, though, so. But that game, I won't be around? Okay, got you. No, it's all good. What's up? Oh, Genie. Did you find it? Nice. That's what it was. It was Doll Stories. Okay. Okay, set up that. That's good. Thank you, Genie. I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Good. Oh, let's pop the chat out really quick. I was gonna play Layers of Fear too, but then the stuff was working, so we're gonna do a little dev kit stream. Yo. Browser, come on. Thank you. Hello, Dirty Shinehorn. What's going on, dude? Or madam, depending. I always get it wrong. Okay, cool. Stories. Oh no, missing. I forgot. I still need to fix that. Sorry, dude. Gotta be careful with those caps. It like hates you if you do caps right now. All right, Kegs, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by, friend. Okay, solid. Sorry, just making sure everything is gonna work out okay, because it's a little bit frustrating. Come on, you can do it. My computer's chugging along. Surprised the stream has lasted. Oh, that's what we're gonna try. Okay, hold on. So, 1 flower. Go back. So the thing is, I need to set up all these other flowers that I'd like to have in here. Only frustrating part right now is that none of the blueprint stuff is set up. But I'm gonna see if I can cheat my way through this really quick, which usually doesn't work out, but. Field scab test. All right. Watching like half a year. Plus, I changed my name. What? What was your original name? That's gonna be a fun stream. Yeah. This is what I gotta do though. At least I'm hoping this won't take very long. If this doesn't take very long, then I can actually start painting them down at least and get a good idea. My main goal was once again to work on an actual field of flowers, but I want to get the flowers set up today, but I didn't get a chance to. Oh, I got one of them set up, but just stuff popped up. Hey, Hobo Jedi, what's going on? Morgan Grau, good to see you. Praise the sun. So let's see about this right now. Oh, shoot. You brought over the wrong one, dude. Did you? Copy here. 1 second. So delete this. There's like hot air. Where's that coming from? Oh, that's right. There's the vent back there. Oh my god. It's like there's hot air on this side and then cold air on this side. I'm getting karate chopped by different temperatures. Field scab test. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we will try. So I got my stuff set up here. And what we're gonna try here is basically replace these. Just see if this will somewhat work. Might not. Okay, and then I need... Oh, these don't... I don't think I set this one up to have a normal, though. Yeah, this is gonna have to be... I'm gonna have to set up all the blueprint for this one. Shoot. Check out my cool flower, dude. Okay, no bueno. The grind in BDO is definitely real, even more than Ark. That's what I heard. Like basically, Black Desert Online, you just waste your whole life in that game. Guardian Craft 27. Ah, yes, man, it has been a long time. You are right. I haven't seen that name in it's been like a year or so. Well, good to see it, and I like your new name. Playing some World of Warships and listening to you talk and about flowers. Yeah. Mean to say I've been playing both Guild Wars and BDO, both in great on their own regard. BDO has so much depth, it's just ridiculous grind. I remember I started fishing in that game, and fishing alone had its own crazy grind. And there was like 1,000 people fishing along this river. It was just, I'm like, I have too many things that are important to do. I can't spend my time. Turbo plays games. What's going on? I loved MMOs, like I loved Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, but now I don't have any time to play them. MMOs take so much time. You have to like invest over that initial hump and then like keep going, and I just got so much to do. Yeah, Genie, Diablo 3, we played like a pinch of Diablo 3 today. Just a little bit. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? I think we're good. I see people saying morning, it's almost midnight. Yeah, that's all the people on the in Deutschland or in possibly another place. Zypher, 5:30 in the morning. Is that Germany? 5:30 still? God, I want my... Oh, that's right, Genie, your PC's still messed up. How are you playing Diablo 3 right now if your PC's messed up? Coconut Kisses, rip. Me working the overnight and cleaning the men's room. Oh, no, dude. I remember having to clean the men's room and the women's restroom in McDonald's at when like probably around like 11 p.m. at night, and it was never a fun time. That's always a rip. Oh, your old laptop. Okay. Germany is 6:30. Okay. 4:30 p.m. Australia. Oh man, it's just starting evening over there. Let's see. Okay. Well, that's okay. So this is not gonna work. We're the shot. But not gonna happen. So, field scab test. Goodbye. Rip field scab. All right. So now I gotta set this whole fucking this whole thing up. Oh, that's right. It's St. Patty's Day. I totally spaced on it. I'm so tired. Jackson, my love. Big Ums, what's going on, dude? How you doing? Spain, 6:30. Oh, okay, okay. Got you. Damn, it is early. For you guys. I've got the trainee, so I'm cleaning tonight for... Oh, well, that's really nice of you. Damn. Oh, yeah, that's right. The bathroom's gonna be... Oh, I feel bad. I totally didn't even put those two together. It's gonna be a bad night for anyone having to clean the bathroom. Dave and I were walking by the bathroom near work, and we were walking by, and the lady was going in to clean the bathroom, and she walked in there, and then Dave and I were kind of talking, and all of a sudden we just hear this lady. She just yells, "There's poop everywhere!" And I was like, "Oh my god, oh god!" That just brought back memories of sadness of at McDonald's. But also it was funny. But also I felt really. I hope it's not that bad. I hope it's at least somewhat clean. But it's St. Patty's Day, so you never know. Watch a stream while working in the dev kit? Yeah, for sure. And 6 sheets of pizza over 200 slices? Damn. There's yellow stuff on the ceiling? Not touching it? Oh my god, dude, you need like a suit. A mask. Morgan Grau. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's nice of you to not have her clean it. That'd be like getting in the trenches real quick. Oh. Oh, jeez. Glad I can miss those things about work, yeah. There's something about... Ah, man. You just, cleaning a public bathroom is a whole nother level of things. Okay. Alright, dev kit. Let's see what you got. Oh, man. I picked, like, the most difficult one. Well, I better get, I guess, the difficult one out of the way. No. Keep it how it was. Thank you. Yeah, it's been here for a while. Oh, man. Okay. Like a few hours since bell. Ha ha ha. I'm so excited for the stream. Well, the stream's gonna be boring today. Well, not super boring, but not as exciting as I once again wanted it to be. I wanted to start working on the field, but the flower, I started doing flowers today, had to do some other stuff, and then didn't get a chance to finish it. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna do my best to speed through this, but I don't want to speed through too quick, or else if I miss something, then I'm gonna be sitting here for 20 minutes trying to figure out what I've messed up. Good news is, it should probably take, like, I'm gonna say like 15 minutes per one. And I gotta do 2 of these, so it's like 30 minutes. But it's not too bad. Whoopsie doodles. Whoopsies. My mouse is extremely sensitive today. Yeah, this flower, the other flower setup doesn't have a normal on it, and this one does. Which changes everything. Alright, we're gonna get started with the scary stories here. There's poop everywhere. I'm glad you clipped that, Missing. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I'm doing BPs today. Be prepared. There's gonna be some mistakes. Since the shift manager and stuff, but I felt nice tonight. Yeah, no, that's commendable. Cleaning my own bathroom can be a horror as well, and not just a cat jumping on my head from the mirror or on the wall. That's its own trouble right there. Cats are like always in your way when you're trying to clean. I don't know what it is. They're like, no, please keep the mess where it is. This is exactly how I wanted it. Oh, I know something scary. Can I tell it? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you can. Network error. You better hurry, man. I'm gonna start my scary stories soon. He's back. Welcome back. Oh, is Twitch acting up? Okay. Oh, okay. He's back. I see what you're saying. Twitch, what's going on? Come on. Okay. I think we're back. Okay. Good. I have a scary story of my college debt. Yeah, I think that is a lot of people in the United States and outside the United States. Well, no, wait. I don't know. I don't know how many places, a lot of places outside the United States are a lot more nicer about school and college. I got plenty of horror stories from this job in the men's restroom. Truckers, man, they do a number. Oh my god, I can only... That's something of nightmares. Now that's a scary story alone. So there's one more joke about something else, but really scary. You're alone in a room and you smell a fart you didn't let out. That is terrifying. I got a nice little glass of wine here for the spooky stories. Gotta stay classy. Okay. They do more than number 2. Oh my god. Oh man. You're already setting the trailer up for this scary movie alone. Let's see. Alpha. Please don't mess up. Thank you. Yuck. What's not classy about poo? Was that wine from a whiskey glass? Yeah. Actually, no, technically this is a wine glass. It's just a stemless wine glass, sorry. I don't actually own any whiskey glasses. I want one, but I don't know. I just haven't got one yet, I guess. I just drink whiskey out of the wine one. This is the last wine one I have left. The other 3 broke on the trip up here in the back of the moving truck. Might just pee my pants again. Dude, no, that was playing Layers of Fear. I had to pee so badly when I was playing that halfway through. And that one jump scare, I swear, I was about to lose it. Both mentally and bodily fluids. Chuggers seem to enjoy washing themselves in the men's restroom. Oh my god. Quite, oh my god. That is terrifying. Are you... What if... You know what, though? I guess in their defense, I mean, maybe something... I guess, no, I can't really... I can't make a defense for that, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, come on. Alpha. I clipped it. They live in their trucks and they know, yeah. I was gonna say, there's gotta be something. Especially, I mean, I guess to be fair too, being a trucker would be, it's a lot of sitting down, a lot of like really long overworking hours, I'm assuming, for the most part. Unless you probably have like a more cushy job or maybe seniority, I'm assuming. If you're just like a runt of the drivers, I'm sure it's I'm sure it's not easy. Whoopsies. Alpha. I need to do diffuse to lerp to all the way to. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Okay. Oh yeah, hold on. Let's get started. Let's get a scary story going. I totally keep spacing on the scary stories. Plus, it'll give me a chance to see if I can speed run through these blueprint stuff that I have to do. Don't look over there. Okay. There's regulations, but good luck if they're not for hygiene. Got you. What's going on, by the way, Leeson? Good to see you. Yeah, I can... Ugh. Can only imagine. So we're going to start... Snow Cherub, if you're here, we're going to start up those scary stories that you recommended. Basically, they're 4 terrifying doll horror stories is the title. Now, the first one's Annabelle, which is that movie, so I'm a little bit skeptical, but I'm hoping that it differs from the movie. But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'll play one of the stories. This is 4 terrifying stories in 24 minutes? Damn. Okay, well then we'll play through this whole one and see how scary these are. Where's your partners on art construction? Partner is Dave is relaxing right now. I'll be lurking, going in, got my headphones on, got you. Yeah, Dave is relaxing. I think he's playing, he might be playing Black Desert Online right now. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe Diablo. We were playing a little bit of Diablo today. Excuse me. And then we jumped into some PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for one match and, and we totally destroyed. Third guy. Oh, Matt is, if you're talking about Matt is no longer working with us. He decided not to go forward with the job at Wildcard. Good luck, Coconut07. Dave's had chicken. He's satisfied. Yeah, our PUBG win was so good that we legit just turned off the game. Yeah, we do. I love PUBG, to be honest. I like it a lot more than Fortnite. We don't have to start that discussion up. We can for a second, but I like PUBG, but I you know what? I really actually admire Fortnite. It's just I can't look at it for very long. It just starts to hurt my eyes, unfortunately. There's the colors that are used are I never have done well with cartoony stuff to begin with, so it's not like it's Fortnite's fault. It's just something that I'm all about boring and drab colors. That's what I can stare at. But Fortnite is a great game. Not docking that at all. I just like PUBG more. Yeah, Matt is very busy at the moment. I know that. And his baby is getting older, so I mean, with anything that gets older, soon it starts talking, and then you gotta buy clothes for it. And then next thing you know, yeah, you're paying for that college, or so. But he right now is I know he's very busy. We jumped in some games not too long ago, but for the most part, no, we don't get a lot of chances to talk to him. At least I don't, not as much. Especially now that we work and we don't get back home till late. We don't get back till around 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish, depending on traffic. So we don't really have the fun. And then I go to the gym now when I get back because I started going to the freaking gym. And that's its own that's its own test. I never get any work done with chatting. I know, right? Dave's left me all alone. Well, that's the whole point. I was supposed to put on scary stories, so I don't have to talk. Have to round up a group and try and hunt you guys down. Dude, yeah, actually, well, we do, I don't know, we play so sporadically, it's hard to, I'm lurking, building a bow and arc. Nice. Send us a screenshot when you can. I'd like to see it. Always get excited for any, people just can build some cool stuff in Ark, and I can't build for squat in Ark, so seeing what you guys build is always dope. These materials confuse me. Is my material simple? Is, for this engine? This material is going to be a lot more confusing because there's a lot of other stuff going on with this one. This has some of the new Unreal stuff in it that I had that basically, we probably won't even use some of this. This is just here just to get it working. Your materials are probably fine. Let's see, hold on. Okay. All right. Well, before, let's see. I'm gonna start up these scary stories. It's 24 minutes. And then I'm gonna try to get this done in that time. Basically, my challenge: listen to the scary story, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll see about picking another one. Just the line of foundations might take a few days of work. Okay, fair enough. You're at the point of where it's like, hold on, no screenshots yet. Well, yeah. Even if you want to send a screenshot, though. Even seeing a row of foundations impresses me, I'll tell you what. My foundations are like 4 foundations. All right. We did it. Let's get those walls going. It's like a gut at the shooting range here. Shot 1 perfect right in the X. First bullet, packed his things and went home saying, yeah, I can't do better today. Yeah, no, exactly, Voidy. That's how it was today. We outplayed every single team, and we ran into, and people were running away from us, and we were playing with another person, Jenny, who can't hit the broadside of a barn, and unfortunately, Jenny usually dies within the first 10 minutes. So it was just Dave and I walking through this town and like fighting these big groups of people, and they were running away, and we were like, what is going on today? It's so weird. And then we just outmaneuvered and outplayed everybody, and then this is a lot of fun. I will on Discord when it's ready. All right, sounds good. And you know what causes this? What causes what? You talking about the reflections on the water? Did you change anything on there, Bigums? Your water's looking remarkably blue there. You got like a Powerade. That's like a Powerade well. Filled with electrolytes for your dinos. It's got electrolytes. I usually die within the first 5 seconds. Died to a headshot. Someone with a fist in solo today, though. Oh, got you. Okay. Never a good time getting headshotted by someone with just fists. Good comms make that game. Yeah, it's all about communication. Any sort of even military-esque style sim, it's all about positioning, communication, and that usually will always prevail. Unless you have hacks, then it doesn't matter. Press play. I want to fall asleep. You got it, Leeson. I don't know what it costs to be glowy at night. It's only at nighttime. I don't think I changed anything. Oh my god. You should, what I would do is really quickly is just load up like the test map, how you have, drop it in there, and make sure that it's just normal. I mean, you would remember if you changed it though. I mean, I only say that because we were messing with these for a while to try to fix the water back in the day. And that is a rabbit hole, these things are. It's almost like you have like a fog going over. That's strange. I have to think about it. I'm in like a whole different mindset right now of like flowers, but let me ponder that. It might just be, you know what it probably is? There's probably something, it's probably in the material. I can't remember. Do we have to make a custom material for it? Ah, it's been so long. Ragnarok, I miss you. If you need hacks to win, it doesn't count as a win. Yeah, I don't know why. I'd never get it. I don't see what the fun is in hacking. There's so much more fun in the chance of winning and just playing with your friends than it is. I just don't see hacking. Just seems so boring. But I'm always muted at this hour. Oh, got you. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna let's put on those scary stories. I keep talking, and we don't need to hear me talking. Let's throw these up. I'm gonna try to finish this, and then we'll see what happens from there. Let's see volume here.
Annabelle was the focus of a case that famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren took part in during the early 1970s, and is highlighted in the book The Demonologist. It has been stated that this is one of the most unusual cases of a possessed object on record. In 1970, a mother purchased an antique Raggedy Ann doll from a hobby store. The doll was a present for her daughter Donna on her birthday. Donna, at the time, was a student in college, preparing to graduate with a nursing degree, and resided in a tiny apartment with a roommate, Angie, a nurse as well. Pleased with the doll, Donna placed it on a bed as a decoration and didn't give it a second thought.
Oh, hold on. Is the volume bad?
Until a few days later.
Hold on.
Within that time, both Donna and Angie noticed that
Let me know
there appeared to be
how the
something
volume is.
very strange and creepy about the doll. The doll apparently moved on its own. Relatively unnoticeable movements at first, like a change in position. But with the passage of time, the movement became more noticeable. Donna and Angie would come home to find the doll in a completely different room from which they had left it in. Sometimes, the doll would be found cross-legged on the couch with its arms folded. Other times, it was found upright, standing on its feet, leaning against the chair in the dining room. Several times, Donna, placing the doll on the couch before leaving for work, would return home to find the doll back in her room, on the bed, with the door closed. One night, Donna came home to find the doll had moved again. This time, it was on a bed. Donna had come to find that this was typical of the doll, but somehow she knew this time it was different. Something wasn't right. A sense of fear came over her when she inspected the doll and saw what looked like blood drops on the back of its hands and its chest. Seemingly from nowhere, a red liquid had appeared on the doll. Scared and desperate, Donna and Angie decided it was time to seek expert advice. Not knowing where to turn, they contacted a medium and a seance was held. Donna was then introduced to the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. The medium related the story of Annabelle to both Donna and Angie. Annabelle was a young girl that resided on the property before the apartments were built. She was a young girl of only 7 years old when a lifeless body was found in the field upon which the apartment complex now stands. The spirit related to the medium that she felt comfort with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them by moving into the doll. Feeling compassion for Annabelle and her story, Donna gave her permission to inhabit the doll and stay. They were soon to find out, however, that Annabelle was not what she seemed. Later that week, Donna saw that the doll, or Annabelle, was ripped and had jagged cuts along her mouth. One night, Donna awoke to some singing like a little girl. She walked into a bathroom to see Angie dead, with the words, "Wanna play?" written in the blood of her friend. The doll was never found. Lou was friends with Donna and Angie and had been with them since the day the doll arrived. He had never been fond of the doll, and on several occasions warned Donna that it was evil, saying that she should get rid of it. However, Donna had developed a personal tie to the doll and decided to keep it, despite Lou's feelings. Her decision was a terrible mistake. One night, Lou awoke with a jolt of terror, a jolt that didn't seem like it was from his usual nightmares. Somehow, something felt different. What would appear to be a common case of sleep paralysis became all too real. He looked around the room but couldn't discern anything out of the ordinary. At first, anyway. Looking down toward his feet, he saw the doll, Annabelle. It began to slowly glide up his leg, moving over his chest and stopping at his neck. Helpless against it, the doll began to strangle him.
What?
After a moment, Lou, at the point of asphyxiation, blacked out. He woke the next morning, certain it wasn't an ordinary night terror, and was determined to rid himself of that doll and the spirit that possessed it. Preparing for a road trip the next
You're
day,
going down, doll.
Lou and Donna were reading over maps alone in her apartment. The apartment was eerily quiet. The sound was broken when rustling sounds coming from Donna's room aroused fear that someone had broken into the apartment. Lou, determined to figure out what was causing the noise, quietly made his way to the bedroom door. He waited for the noise to stop before entering and turning on the light. The room was empty, except for Annabelle, whom was tossed in the corner on the floor. Lou searched the room for signs of forced entry, but nothing was out of place. As he got closer to the doll, he got the distinct impression that somebody was behind him. Spinning around, Lou found that, despite his unease, nobody besides himself and the doll were in the room. Then, in a flurry
First
of motion,
mistake.
he found himself doubled over in pain, with blood dripping from a cut on his chest. Upon opening his shirt, there, on his chest, were what appeared to be 7 distinct claw marks. I hope you enjoyed this article, and should you ever want to visit the infamous Annabelle, she can be found at the Warren Occult Museum in Moodus, Connecticut. The museum is run by Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal investigator, and now frequent guest on the television show Paranormal State. Housed in a glass case at the museum, you will find Annabelle. Mrs. Warren relates that Annabelle still moves about occasionally, and is still known to make growling noises.
She gets very
to
hungry.
unsuspecting visitors. In rural southern Illinois, a toy company began selling realistic baby dolls to expectant mothers.
Already bad.
But apparently, after the mother had a child, the toy baby would start crying. Eventually, the rocking motion, advertised to calm it down, wouldn't work, and you couldn't get it to stop without shaking it. Eventually, when it started crying, the parent would have to beat it, and the beatings and thrashings would have to get harder and harder to get it to be quiet. The only thing that seemed to shut the baby doll up permanently was to bash its head against the wall to destroy whatever mechanism triggered the crying. On more than one occasion, though, neighbors called the authorities to report child abuse, and when the police arrived, they found the bloody remains of infants smeared across the walls and on the floor. In most cases, the mother couldn't understand why the police were there. She just got rid of the stupid doll as she
Oh my
rocked
God.
a baby-shaped bundle in her arms.
Done goofed. Took out the wrong baby.
They called it the Doll Cemetery. It was a small valley, barren and deserted, behind a hill that hid it from the sight of the town. Nothing grew on its arid soil. The few trees that had tried were long dead, turned into wooden skeletons that stretched their hooked fingers to the sky above. The reason for that name was clear to anyone who visited the place. It had indeed the grim, gloomy air of old cemeteries, completely uncomforting. However, its guests were not underground, neither walled in narrow recesses. They stood in plain sight, fully exposed to eyes and weather. There were dolls of every kind and size, of every fashion, style and era. Ancient misses with painted porcelain faces, whose richly embroidered dresses were now reduced to mouldy rags, cheap rag dolls, or what was left of them, their smiles faded, but still visible on their deformed, swollen faces. Elegant catwalk models 10 inches tall, who once possessed clothes and accessories, and now stood naked and twisted into unlikely positions. Child dolls that had once walked, cried or called for their mommies, and now laid motionless, silent, often mutilated. Some of those that had been there longer were stuck into the ground or tied to the trees with iron wire, now corroded by rust, or with ribbons and strings that time had worn and faded. Most, though, had simply been left on the ground, and many of them had been pushed around by the wind or rain, gathering in some hollow, as if in a sad, common grave. No one knew who had placed the first doll there, or why. Even for the eldest of the town, it was a question without answer. But somehow, it started a sort of tradition. There were still girls who, forced to separate from their favourite doll, past beyond any chance of repair, asked for her to be brought there, among their peers. But it was a task for parents, because no child ever ventured there, not even for a dare. The doll cemetery was a grim and sad place, even in the full light of summer day. But in night, or even worse, one of those dull days threatening rain, when clouds cast a grey light over the whole place, it was impossible to walk through it and not be overwhelmed by a feeling of anguish, as if each of those little, abandoned bodies hosted a soul, silently screaming all of its torment to the ears of the living. Like any respectable graveyard, the Dolls Cemetery
Any
had a
respectable
caretaker.
graveyard.
Or at least, that is what the old homeless man who had found shelter in the badly assembled shack right in the middle of the valley was said to be. They said that, during the day, he walked around the place, whispering incomprehensible words to the dolls, as if to comfort them, and that at night, he went back to his shack and, behind the window, or in the doorframe in the hot summer nights, stood vigilant, as if protecting a sacred place from whatever intruder. The townsfolk believed he was crazy, but harmless, especially because he never left the valley, and whoever wanted to find him always knew where he was. But in truth, nobody ever wanted to find him, at least until the girls disappeared. There were 3 friends, 15 years old, always together since nursery school. Once teens, they spent more time together than their respective families, from the morning meeting to go to school, to the late evening goodbye to go to sleep. Unless they managed to do that together as well, with short and infrequent interruptions for meals. The day when their parents could not find them in their rooms, their first thought was that they had secretly left, maybe by the window, to get together and do some of their mischief. It wouldn't have been the first time. When they weren't back for lunch or dinner, and late at night, none of the houses they could go back to had seen them come, worry started to spread in their families, and soon the whole town. They thought about an accident, something so serious that they weren't even able to call. Groups of volunteers were formed, and they searched for the girls everywhere, in the town and around it. But they didn't go behind the hill. Why should they? It was only when one of them brought back any news that the mother of one of the 3 remembered, shocked, what her daughter had told her a week, maybe 10 days ago, failing to elicit her attention. What she said about the caretaker of the Dolls Cemetery. That he had abused them. So the girl had
Jesus.
said to a mother that didn't care to listen, knowing how frequently her daughter made up unbelievable stories to feed her lust for attention. He had approached them late at night, she had explained. He had tried to make them follow him. He tried to touch them, but
Here we go.
they had fled. The parents of the second girl said they had heard nothing of that. They accused the poor woman, dumping on her the blame for what might have happened. They aroused the spirits of their neighbors and declared themselves ready to tear that shack down if that could help to find their daughter. But for the father of the third girl, a widower with a meek face and large body, the report had been no news. His daughter, too, had told him the same thing, but it couldn't have happened. That man never went into the town, everybody knew, and the girl had sworn she had never set foot in the cemetery. Clearly, It must
Somebody's
be a
lying here.
misunderstanding. Maybe a prank, he kept repeating. Going there would just be a waste of time. No one listened to him. They accused him of being a craven, of not caring about his daughter's
What's a
fate.
craven?
After all, when had he ever cared? Always away for work, with a poor girl left alone to her own devices, and the pressure that had been on the woman shifted on him. She might have been shallow, but he was a man. He ought to have done something, immediately, before the worst happened. His words, his apparent attempts to clear the homeless man, were worth nothing, except maybe to exacerbate the people even more. A compact group of men, armed with a wrath they deemed right and with bad intentions, joined the parents of the girls to go to the Doll Cemetery in the unshakable belief that the girls would be found there. And they were. The first, the one who had said nothing to her parents, had been tied to a tree with iron wire. With her arms open wide to the heavens, her calm face, her head dangling forward on her broken neck,
Oh, jeez.
she looked like an angel who wanted to keep vigil on that place of death, now real. Cries of rage rose from the crowd, who started to march faster. Still, even before such evidence, the widower kept saying that it was impossible, that the caretaker couldn't have done that. The second girl was halfway to the center of the valley. She sat on the ground, her back leaning on a trunk, her arms limp at her sides. Her ears had been ripped away from her head, violently,
Jesus.
and rivulets of blood painted her face, running down her cheeks. A fabric ribbon that maybe once had been light green had been tied over her mouth. It would have been a poor gag if she had still been able to talk. The dramatically belated rescuers started to run. Maybe there was still a chance to save the last girl, even though her
I don't
very
think it's
father,
looking good.
surely out of his mind by now, was shouting for them to stop, to stay away from the shack. And there, on the door, they found the last one, the widower's daughter. She'd been thrown into the ground with no regard, in a tangled heap. Her face was livid and bloody, her clothes marked by little round stains. Her mouth was open wide in a scream she would never be able to utter, because her tongue lied aside
Oh,
in a
jeez.
pool of blood that looked like some beast had walked on it. But for sure, no beast, not a real one, had done that to her.
Not a real one.
No one wanted to hear anything else. The shouted ramblings of the widower got lost in those of the crowd, inciting itself to avenge the girls. The man stepped back as someone kicked down the door of the shack. Then everybody else did the same when the stench, coming from within, assaulted them like a living beast, as if it had been lurking in wait behind those weak planks. No revenge would ever take place.
Uh-oh.
The caretaker of the Doll Cemetery lied lifeless on the floor of what had been his home.
It's not good.
His skin was livid, his body swollen, and a pool of dried blood surrounded his head like a macabre halo. He had been dead for days, weeks.
Oh, shoot. He's been
maybe.
dead. He was dead. Okay.
Silence suddenly fell on the crowd. Nothing could be heard, except the gulps of those who had lost their daughters, and the flutters of the wings of some birds, or maybe the sound of small footsteps moving away. Glances were exchanged, full of questions nobody wanted to speak, and answers nobody wanted to hear. Then, all eyes converged on the only one who had never wanted to go there, who's now walking away slowly, looking down, clutching his chest with his hands.
What'd I do
They
wrong?
saw him stumble towards the hill, then suddenly stop
What?
to free the hem of his trousers from the hand of a doll that must have got stuck into it.
Fuck.
They saw him tremble as he shook his leg, as if in panic, then turn around and disappear behind the hill with a brisk step. From that day,
That's what I did wrong.
nobody set foot in the doll's cemetery anymore.
Why is it so dark?
It is the thing that Hollywood films are made of. Even more, particularly, it is reminiscent of Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray,
Something weird going
an
on.
unnamed family, similar to any other average family, did what all families do as the children start to grow up. They had to decide that the outgrown toys, cluttering the kids' room, should be got rid of or stored away. As usually happens, with many things that were cherished by the children, several of them were stored away in the attic. Amongst them was a doll, an ordinary baby-faced doll. Run the clock forward 11 years. Attics do not have an endless capacity for storage, or perhaps the family had decided to move to a new home. For whatever reason, a sort-out was needed. If your imagination is the director of this story, then now is the time to pick your lighting and camera angle. Because one can only imagine the horror on the face of the person, or the hair sticking up in the back of the neck, when they picked up that doll to find this. The doll had aged, and now had the face of a very old person. The skin was drawn back to an almost zombie-like, or even mummified appearance. What makes it more unnerving to look at are the human qualities of it,
Maybe.
particularly those eyes, which appear to be staring straight at you. What had caused this? Had, as the Express suggested, demonic forces set to work? Or was it like Dorian Gray's portrait and had withered and aged? For whatever reason, it had happened. The family were not keeping it and gave it away. Jim Eaton, expert of the paranormal and author of Ghosts Caught on Film 2, said, "This is a picture of what the doll looked like before it was given away. We can only wonder at what condition it is in now." Apparently the family had given it away. The doll was later sold on for a considerable amount of money. As Jim Eaton said, "What it looks like now, we can only guess at. What caused it, we can only speculate on."
Maybe I might know. No, that wouldn't make sense.
My friend Lisa and I were going through her family photos recently when we came across this.
Oh, that's the end of the stories right there. This is a whole new story. All right. Well, we tried those ones. Those ones weren't really scary. They were more, I don't know. They were okay. Hey, what's up, Angry Snake, by the way? And DeKing, always good to see you, man. Long time no see. I like that Craven is... I want to use that word more often. Yeah, entertaining but not scary. That's a good way to put it. I was looking for something a little bit spookier. With a little bit more gusto behind it. Get underneath, crawl under the skin there. So we're going to the tried and true Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. And we'll see. Let's see what we can find. Ah, BP, so much fun. Yeah, considering I'm not entirely sure, Genie. I don't know if it's Shadow or not. There's a few things. There's so many things I could have just accidentally not checked, or mismatched. I'm gonna do another little pass through and see if I can get it. It's close. There's one thing that's being a jerk, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I don't know. You can see what they're supposed to look like. They're supposed to look something like that. But yeah, they got some weird shadow on it right now. I feel like I just forgot a checkbox. It always is that. At least that's what it seems like. But this one is the most complicated one out of all the flowers. So, we'll see. Hold on, let me see if I can find No, yeah, I'm gonna practice and try to fix it though. Gotta keep practicing on this stuff. Yeah, but if anything, I'll go on to the next one soon. Let's see. I'm trying to decide. Some of these are really long, although this is 5 scary stories. Collector. Collector sounds cool. When God Blinks. The Body Farm Part 2. Where's Part 1? Oh, it's down there. Never mind. Nothing Ever Happens. I don't know. It's only 7 minutes.
Chilling tales for dark nights.
Nothing Ever Happens. Okay.
Nothing Ever Happens. Written by Peter Lalish. Performed by Jordan Lester.
Excuse me.
I remember an episode of a kids' cartoon I used to watch when I was very young. The main character, a dog, spent his entire day moping around his house as it rained outside, complaining, "Nothing ever really happens," while all sorts of whimsical stuff occurred everywhere that he didn't look. I think I'm that dog. Only I've looked everywhere, and I can confirm it. In this town, nothing ever really happens. After I graduated, I moved back in with my parents at their suburban home while looking for a job. What else was I going to do? I had no money. Student loans were eviscerating my bank account, and no one seemed to have
Hey, we were just
positions
talking about
I
that.
had the skills for. That's what I get for being an English major.
Done goofed.
Here's how my day goes. I wake up, usually around 11 a.m. I eat breakfast, generally cereal. I shower. I don't do my makeup because there's no point.
Scary sound
Sometimes
effects.
I go for a walk around my neighborhood in hopes that there's something interesting. There never is. I eat lunch, usually something frozen. I lounge around the house all day. I eat dinner. I watch TV. And I go to bed. I was supposed to have moved out in a few weeks. It's been 3 years now. Good morning, sunshine, my parents tell me every morning. I used to say good morning back, but now it's usually some variant of no, it's not. They still smile and go about their business. I wish I could just leave, but I'm stuck here. I've applied to jobs out of town, but I have no skills to speak of. Sometimes I apply in town, but I never hear back. All I can do is sit here and watch the world go by from my laptop. Nothing ever really happens. Sometimes I try to have little adventures, like Maybe trying to climb up the tallest tree in the backyard using tools from the garage. Dangerous, I know. And yes, I've fallen before, but it's not like anything can happen to me. The only thing that ever happens is outside the borders of this stupid town. I've watched from my phone as you elected an incompetent man president, as world leaders bicker, as movies and games and books come out that I will never get the chance to experience. I know the world is scary, but I would give anything to be there with all of you. You all get to move on with your lives, accomplish things, better yourselves. At midnight, my world becomes the start of May 7th, 2014. All over again. And I find myself laying awake in bed, just as I was the first time.
No.
It's like that movie. You know, the one where that man has to relive the same day on repeat. Only he could change the people around him. My life plays out as if some unseen power has hit the rewind button every night. No matter how much I scream at them, no one ever flinches. My parents just smile and go on with their day. The only news item that exists to them is Whole Foods stock tanking. For me, the internet is the only thing connecting me to the present day. Your present day. I see everything happen to everyone out there but me. I guarantee you, if nuclear war broke out and everyone on the planet was killed, I would still wake up on May 7th, 2014.
Oh, she's got Groundhog
Just
Day
like always.
syndrome. I see what's going on.
I can't remember any of my social media passwords, so I can't tell any of my friends or see what they've been up to since that day. I've tried to leave. Over and over. I don't know for certain it's the town doing this to me. It was worth a shot, but I couldn't get away.
Shoot.
The family cars always run out of gas, and I can't steal anyone else's car. I've tried that too. Something always prevents me.
That should fix it.
I've tried walking, but the edge of town is just so far away, and I'm not that strong to begin with.
There we
Taking
go.
my bicycle doesn't help. The chain is
It
worn,
was just the base color.
and before I get a quarter
I feel
mile
like a
out,
fool,
it
but-
always snaps. So I climb the tree. I've fallen. More than once. I've broken my back
Damn.
and my neck. More than once. If I don't die instantly, I'm paralyzed and forced to lie in the grass as the hours tick by. No one ever comes to help. And then, no matter what, I'm back in my bed. It's the tallest tree in the neighborhood. I bet the view is spectacular. Maybe one day I'll make it to the top. Maybe I'll be able to see past the edge of town. I have a feeling, though, that the view will just show a world on repeat, like the town and people around me. I don't know what to do, but to just live in it.
It's not that bad. This one's not bad.
Nothing ever really happens.
Damn it! I swear, the only good stories, you have to pick a long one. I just get so hesitant about picking a long one because then you're invested. And it's like, you put in that time to listen to it, and you want a good payout. You know, you got 30 minutes to build up a story. But yeah, no. That was just like that was okay. It was just Groundhog Day, though. It wasn't very original. I mean, they just tried to put a scary story on it. She just, like, jumped out of a tree. I think they could have, tell us a story, Jackson. I'm trying to think of the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. But I can't think of anything. I've never, obviously, not... I've yet to run into any ghosts. Dave's fault. Exactly. What? What are you barking at, Maya? Hold up. Cancel, cancel. I need... Oh, there it is. Don't save. Okay, cool. Ah, that's not too bad. This one should not be too bad. Yeah, like HP Lovecraft, exactly. I feel like we gotta... I'm just gonna pick a longer story. What was the first living situation? What was your first living situations like after moving away from home? That was kind of scary. Living in Los Angeles is its own scary thing. Like, I'm more scared of real life things happening than like a freaking than any ghost stuff. I fell asleep, embraced my girl, woke up alone. Does that count? Oh, that's that's not scary. That's just that's sad. I would say the men's room is finally done. That's scary. Barking at ghosts. Yeah, exactly, Bigums. Yeah, when I moved out of my house, I went to college, and then I guess that, I don't know if you count that. College was fun. I did have... There was a lady that I worked with at McDonald's, which was kind of terrifying because she didn't really speak very much English. It was during college years, and she didn't speak very much English. I only like met her like 3 days, and of course I'm like cracking jokes, trying to like, you know, spawn some conversation, but she didn't really think she was Chinese, if I remember right. But what was crazy is like there was a bus stop that we always used to walk by, and she used to take the bus from there every single time. And there was this crazy big tree that was above the bus stop. And then like one day she didn't show up to work, and it turns out that tree had fallen on top of her. And I mean that that would be terrifying. But yeah, she I think it actually killed her is what happened, if I remember right. But that's just terrifying. I walked by that tree so many times because it was over near where I lived. Chico wasn't a very big place. Let's see. But I actually felt a body against mine in my sleep. Oh, I see what you're saying. And I'm single. Now explain that. All right, yeah, now you got some spooky circumstances on your hands there, friend. I'm not riding the bus anymore. Yeah, no, it was crazy because I had only met her like 3 times, and I was like, what happened to so-and-so? And they're like, oh, this tree fell on her, and like they were passing a cart around, and then it turns out she didn't make it, and it was like, oh my god. It was just like, and it was like maybe 1 week of working with her, and then it was like, all right, see you later. That stuff is the kind of stuff that scares me at random crap that just happens. And I used to ride my bike on the bike path there, and there was always this tree that looked like some guy jumping out of the bushes. It's just this perfect silhouette, the way the light from the bike path lit up this tree. It looked like a guy jumping into the bike path. And I swear to God, the first time I saw that at night, when I started taking later classes, oh man, that scared the shit out of me. I almost crashed my bike into the bushes. It's the most lifelike thing I've ever seen, just from a tree. Never punching a tree again, yeah. More like sad stories. Yeah, no, I can't think of any time I've been, like, incredibly terrified. Because, I mean, it's like, supernatural stuff. Yeah, no, just real life happens. Yeah, aneurysms are scary. Yeah, that's terrifying. I'm trying to think of, some scary. I mean, and I grew up like when it was like 1990s was still a time of like when you were a kid where your parents would essentially let you watch any movie. I mean, I remember watching Alien and just being scared absolutely shitless, and I was like 5. That, and then Jurassic Park was pretty terrifying. And then Jaws. I remember seeing Jaws when I was like 7. And then we lived right next to the ocean, and then I had to go surfing, and then we ran into a shark like not too long ago, or not surfing, but boogie boarding back then, but not too long after when I did take surfing, and I actually ran into a shark that brought up some scary feelings. Apparently my surf instructor, though, was like, oh, no, doesn't matter. He's like, no, check it out. It's a shark. And I'm like, oh, my God, get your feet out of the water. But to be fair, sharks don't really pay much attention to people. So, it's totally fine. Yeah, I got nothing. I got no scary stories. Let's see. Just stories. All right, let's invest our time into this one. Oh, okay. I know another ghost story. Okay, I met a guy named Mike at school. He's really amazing and athletic and loved playing Minecraft. But I never saw him before. Next day, I found a table in the welcome hall of a school with a card for Michael, who died in an accident. The picture... died in an accident a week ago. The picture on it was Mike. Never seen Mike ever again after that. Oh, that is scary. Yeah, that's just like one of those things with this weird coincidence thing. You're like, it's just a weird feeling. I'm hesitant. The proposition, the collector. I want to pick one that's like roughly an hour. Sad, not scary. What's up, Phoenix? Yeah, we just got sad stories. Everything, we're too real in here. The Outsider. Fear of flying. That could be good. Wants to buy cocaine off of him. I remember we were at some concert. Somebody was like trying to sell us he's like, you need some pot? Need some Adderall? Like he's just like handing out things. And I was like, I guess it's okay, you can do this. No one seemed to stop that guy. I was like, there's like security guards everywhere, but I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, we were seeing, I went to see, oh my God, Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder. Well, it was more just Eddie Vedder. He was solo on the stage. I don't know if anyone knows who Eddie Vedder is. But got to see him play in California a couple years back. Oh, there's one called Rue. Creepypasta by Max Aaron. Saw me spend it all alone. Yeah. Diner's always a good one. I want to listen to that one again. I always listen to that one, and it still scares me. The Klondike story about the crazy creature. That one is such a good... It's so well produced. So many of these stories now, they're trying to just pop them out. I wish they'd just spend more time really working on the production. Burial at Sea. Ruaz and Kangaroo. I think so. What I Saw Beneath the Riptide. That sounds kind of cool, too. Oh, Jesus. We just gotta pick one. Gotta commit. Shattered. The Deer Gods. Let's do the Deer Gods. Let's try that. The well went bad on the Pearson farm. Okay, we'll do two. We'll do Deer Gods, and we'll do maybe the well one. Let's see. Activate story.
Blood was running down the front of the refrigerator when I returned to the cabin that afternoon. When I came closer, I found the red liquid was coming from the freezer, the small aluminum door already permeated by the scent of decay. I yanked the door wide open, but was not greeted by the rush of chilled air that I expected. Shit, I cursed. The power had gone out while Phil and I were over the ridge, causing the meat from our first buck to spoil. Worse yet, the Jaeger was lacking that lovely white mist that always chilled around the glass bottle. It didn't help that the rickety old cabin we had rented in the woods was no better than a dream catcher at keeping out flies. The flies out here were humongous, and their black skin flashed turquoise in the sunlight. Already, the smell of rotten meat had attracted a whole circus of the damn things. I opened the fridge and touched my fingertips to the sides of the Coors Light cans on the middle shelf. Warm. Phil was going to be awfully disappointed when he returned. I tested the radio on the kitchen counter and got nothing. Great, I thought. 3 days in the steaming hot woods of southern Indiana in August with no power. I would have called the landowner that rented us the cabin to complain, but I knew it wouldn't do any good. Even ourselves got no signals out here. The old bastard told us he hadn't rented out the place in over 5 years and warned us ahead of time that it was no resort condominium. Besides, what could I do? Write him a bad review on Yelp? It was just an old fart that was letting a friend of a friend of a friend stay in a rundown shack on their hunting trip. I cracked open the tab on a warm Coors Light and sat on the dusty old couch. Kicking up my feet on the table, I took in the charming terror of the decor. Cobwebs galore, animal heads that had been mounted on the walls by the hand of a clearly amateur taxidermist. The windows were caked with dust and speckled in black splotches. Somewhere in the tiny cabin, there was a slow but steady leak that could be heard in every room, though our attempts at uncovering the source turned up nothing. For some reason, someone had decided to display a large yellowed bone across the mantel. It must have been 1.5 feet long, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what animal it could have come from. I checked my watch, 6:30 in the evening. The sun would be setting in an hour or two, but when I split the inseam of my pants earlier and decided to call it a day, Phil resolved to stay out and try his luck. We had each bought a tag, and I had bagged an 8-pointer the very first morning, so we still had one open. Phil was determined to get his kill, and he was determined to do it with his new redhead compound bow. He spent the whole 3-hour ride out here bragging about the damn thing. This isn't the 1800s, so I'll stick with my rifle. I couldn't cook on the electric range since we were currently without power, and it's far too hot to start up the old wood-burning stove that lay dormant in the corner of the kitchenette. I shrugged and grabbed a bag of chips and crunched down the salty crisps with a couple more hot beers. Time passed slowly, but eventually the night settled outside and the dirty old shack started to cool down. I opened the windows and the shack was flooded with the sound of bug calls. I checked the time again, 8:45, and Phil was still out there. I stepped onto the porch and leaned against one of the columns, staring out into the complete black of the woods. An owl hooted in the trees. I took another sip from my Coors, then chucked the can off into the woods. That fucker's probably got himself lost, I said to myself. When the can bounced into the bushes, something in the bush rustled and retreated away from the spot. Probably just an animal, but I called out Phil's name in case he was stumbling around in circles just outside of the cabin. When I shouted, the movement abruptly stopped.
Ooh.
Raccoons, I thought.
I like this one.
They were crafty little things, but we had ensured that all of our food was sealed up tight. I went back inside and returned to the couch, set to kick my feet up and wait. Half an hour must have passed when I heard the warped boards of the porch creak. I sat up, expecting Phil to come galumphing in with his stupid bow hung over his shoulder in defeat. But no one came in. I walked over to the door and peeked through the small rectangular windows on either side of the doorframe. Nothing but darkness outside. Animals fucking with me, I groaned. It was admittedly a tad creepy, just hanging out in a cabin by yourself in the middle of nowhere. This was compounded by the flickering firelight of the many candles they had lit around the living room, since there was still no power to the lamps. I turned to head for the kitchen and continue my lukewarm bender when I spotted something staring into the open window across the room. It was the head of a deer. Its beady eyes staring blankly into the room while its rack of antlers swayed from side to side. The deer was completely silent and not looking at me, so I wondered if it was even aware of my presence. My rifle was leaning against the corner where I had left it when I first got back to the cabin, and I thought I might try to creep over and grab it. Imagine Phil's face when I told him that I got a second kill when a dumbass deer just wandered up to me to be shot. My feet shuffled toward the weapon. But the moment I took my eyes off the deer's dull stare, it vanished. I rushed over to the window and stuck my head out. About 10 yards off, the buck's head was protruding from the top of a blackberry bush, still staring blankly at the cabin. "The hell's up with this deer?" I muttered. But I soon left the window and returned to the kitchen to start in on the Jaeger. I poured a shot of the sticky molasses-thick liqueur and went back to raise a toast to the brain-dead deer in the bushes. However, he had moved on while I was at the freezer. I shrugged and swallowed down the shot. Not 5 more minutes had passed when I heard a crash in Phil's bedroom.
Phil!
I went to investigate, grabbing a candle from a nearby table. Phil's room was pitch black before I thrust the flame of the candle ahead of me. The window was wide open and the curtain blowing in the night breeze, but I had opened it myself earlier. I bent down next to the window and found a clump of brown fur that had snagged in the splintered window frame. "A damn deer," I laughed to myself. It is determined to come here and get blasted. When I turned to leave the room, I stepped on something hard and crunchy. Looking down at what I had trampled, I found Phil's handheld GPS on the splintered screen. The screen was my doing. And we had left the GPS here at the cabin since we brought mine out and assumed we'd be fine with just one. But how did it end up on the floor? And how did the power turn on? I asked as I picked it up and increased the pale green brightness of the screen. There were no locations marked, so I just shut the handheld down and set it back on the foot of the bed. I wondered how the hell a deer managed to turn on an electronic device with such small buttons. One by one, I shut all of the windows in the cabin and made sure they were locked.
Steve Jobs, dear.
All this quiet was starting to creep in on me, and my head was filled with eerie what-ifs and beyond worst-case scenarios. I grabbed my rifle and thrust down my feet into my boots. Phil was still nowhere to be found, and according to my phone, it was very quickly approaching midnight. I noted that the battery was only at 10%, but with no signal out here in the hills, it didn't matter much anyway. I put on my headlamp and grabbed an extra flashlight and my rifle and started back off into the woods toward where Phil and I had set up our tree stands. That idiot was probably lost out here or fell asleep in his stand or something, so I had to go find him. It was about 2 miles from the cabin where we had set up. Hiking at night entails a laundry list of problems that you don't have to worry about in the light of day. Roots trip you, you could plummet into any ravine that you happened to cross, and the maze of trees was even more unnavigable than it was during the day. I had the foresight to bring along Phil's GPS, but it was hard to distinguish the topographic lines through the spider-webbing cracks in the screen. The red cone of my headlamp swept back and forth ahead of me, and I didn't want to lose my night vision by turning on my flashlight. Whatever creepiness I felt in the cabin was amplified 100-fold out in the open woods. The insect chirping echoed all around me, and my heart froze in my chest every time some nocturnal animal shuffled about nearby. About a quarter of the way to the tree stand, I heard what sounded like a thick branch snapping off to my left. I looked to turn, The dim red light of my headlamp caught the antlers of a big stag wandering through a patch of tangled bramble. What the hell? I thought. Well, the deer should be bedding down by this time of night. Another rustling startled me. It must have been no more than 20 feet behind me. I turned just in time to catch another deer's beady eyes shimmer in the red light before disappearing into the underbrush. My grip tightened on my Remington 700.
Dude, time to start
No
blasting.
way in hell was I going to come out here and get jumped by a herd of insomniac deer. But I had to continue on. Unfortunately, my presence captivated the attention of the herd. Every 100 feet or so, I heard branches snapping or waxy leaves hissing across one another as another buck meandered along nearby. I counted half a dozen times that I would spot some curious stag, lift its head out of the cover of bushes to watch me, only to sink back out of sight. A mile and a half later, I began to hear them chatter, but they sounded nothing like the usual grunts and bellows of whitetails. The sounds they made almost frightened me of words, though this communication was orchestrated through a series of barks and clicks and moans. When one would chatter on my left, others would respond ahead of me or at my flank. What the hell was going on with these deer? The nearer I drew to the clearing where Phil and I had set up our stands, the more the forest began to sound like some guttural, animalistic call-and-response congregation. Halfway through the hike, I noticed a taller buck with 12-pronged antlers that had now taken the de facto role of the initiator. It called out a series of groans and barks, and the rest of the congregation would repeat back to them. I knew I was nearing where I had last seen Phil, so I called out his name into the trees. I got no response from my friend, but it seemed to frenzy the chatter of the deer. There must have been 15 or more of them at this point, judging by the replies that sprouted up around me in the dark woods. The sounds arose from the slopes of the tall ridges that rose up in the rolling hills of the Hoosier wilderness. I swore I heard one of the deer call out from the top of a nearby walnut tree, but it was silly to think that a deer had learned to climb. When I did look up into the canopy, however, I managed to find the tree stand where I had left Phil. It was empty. I slung my rifle over my shoulder and began to climb the metal rungs that Phil drove into the trunk of the tree. When I reached the small plastic and metal folding stand, the red light of my headlamp revealed that a pool of blood had settled in the bowl of the seat. I turned on my flashlight and traced the white beam down the trunk of the tree, where blood was smeared across the bark. I descended to the base of the tree, where I found a large splatter of blood, and in the center of it, one of Phil's carbonistan arrows broken in half.
Damn.
The black shaft was smeared in red ooze. Had Phil injured himself with his own equipment? If so, he must be desperately crawling around in the dark, searching for the cabin as he loses blood. I swept the beam of my flashlight across the forest floor, keeping an eye out for the telltale glint of blood shining in the white light. I found the trail headed west, away from the cabin. I consulted the handheld GPS. To the west was a tall, long ridge that rose up 100 feet and had a pretty steep incline. So why, I asked myself, would an injured man head toward the biggest obstacle in sight? I guessed that Phil had his phone on him and had headed to higher ground to try picking up a signal. Maybe he had called for help and was already bedded down in some small-town clinic, but maybe he was still lying up there, off the network. I checked my own cell to see if I was in range. Not only was the signal as dead as a rock, my juiceless battery made my phone's usefulness about as much as said rock. And to make matters worse, the cracks in the screen of the GPS had gotten so bad that the screen was becoming nothing more than a fuzzy green glow. Despite the failures of technology, I could still manage a search on my own. With the ray of the flashlight bouncing around ahead of me, I followed the trail of blood toward the west. The ridge was steeper than I had gathered from the topographic lines. At times I found myself clawing my way up the loose soil of the slopes on all fours. The deer that had been pursuing me seemed to have no issue with the terrain, though, as their calls had grown louder, more frequent, and revolved around me in every direction. I spotted their long faces floating through the dark. Sets of beady eyes flashed in the passing illumination of my flashlight. I crested the ridge, and the indiscernible grunts and barks of the herd became refined into a hushed conversation, as if they were gathered in a sitting room discussing the weather over tea. I shouted Phil's name down in the next valley. The deer emulated me, raising a guttural mimicry of the name in unison. I shivered despite the humidity of the summer air. I called louder, as did the deer. Needless to say, I was freaking the fuck out. I was near hysterics when I began to shout and curse and scream at whatever whitetail groaned next. One buck bleated not 15 feet from me, and so I turned towards the sound and charged towards the bushes like a madman. When I burst through the undergrowth, I found the bushes empty apart from a torn pair of pants hanging on a low branch. They were camouflage print and darkened by a blood stain. I held the pants in front of me, staring in disbelief. These were Phil's pants.
Uh-oh.
Well, I wasn't sure they were, but who else could they be? 10 feet ahead, I spotted the emotionless face of a deer facing me. Its eyes reflected the red light of my headlamp, but they seemed dead. You can tell the stare of a dead man's eyes from that of the living, and this was no different. The skin and fur of the buck's head was loose.
Zombie deers.
Icy tendrils.
Far Cry 5.
Fear took root in my every muscle, and adrenaline had flooded my system so thoroughly that my shaking hands could no longer hold the flashlight. It dropped to the forest floor and sprayed its silver light like a drive-in movie projector onto the trees. Those faces, 9, maybe 10 of them, peering back at me in the cone of light. Their dead eyes locked on me. Their antlers rattled against the branches and leaves as they began to hoot and bark in feverish discord. My stiff legs suddenly unlocked, and I darted off down into the valley. After only a few steps, I lost my footing and began to somersault down the slope. My body bounced off of tree trunks and logs. I hit a rock hard, and my body tumbled like a rag doll. Eventually, I landed with a thud on the dirt and slid down the rest of the way on my back. I heard the metallic clang of my rifle as it bounced off a rock and dropped off somewhere into a dry ravine. When I finally came to a stop at the bottom of the hill, my ribcage burned with pain and my shoulders ached. I was conscious long enough to grasp at the back of my head where a warm wetness had matted my hair. I woke again upside down and with a pounding headache. My thighs burned, my shoulders were too shaky to lift my arms, which dangled down towards the ground. I weakly lifted my head and discerned that I was hanging by my ankle. The frayed old rope that I hung by seemed to go up and up into the distant treetops. I looked down, and the muddy floor of the forest was 7 feet below. The leg that hadn't been tied was bent aside at the knee and hanging near my hip, clearly broken. Slowly, my blurry vision cleared and my eyes adjusted to the darkness. The plants on the ground here were short and sparse. I quickly spotted the buck's heads circled around me. However, these heads were not attached to deer. They sat atop the shoulders of pale, gaunt human bodies. They were naked and squatting so that their skinny bodies were folded up with their arms hugged around their knees. There must have been 20 of them encircling me, all crouched, motionless, packed in a pale ball along the forest floor. Now and then one of them let out a low, moaning call, and others would reciprocate. Strength was starting to return to my arms, and so I flailed them. This made me slowly spin on the rope, and I could see a field of emaciated, pale deer men squatting all around me. Their shrunken bodies were completely still, except for the slight sway of their antlers they wore. The smell of rotten flesh and dried blood choked me. As I spun further, I came face to face with Phil.
Phil!
He was hung by the ankle, just like I was, about 10 feet away. He'd been stripped naked and his torso eviscerated. His wet entrails hung out of him like twisted fly paper. On the ground beneath him lay Phil's skinning knife, The blade was painted in his blood. I vomited. The burn of stomach acid spread down my throat as I continued spinning upside down. When the bile splattered on the dirt, it seemed to awaken the interest of the deer men. They rose, unfolded their thin bodies in unison. The way they stood was uncannily smooth, as if their heads were floating up and their bodies simply rising up on puppet strings below. The whole congregation glided towards me. The nearest ones convened beneath, the deer heads' eyes staring blankly into my face. They poured out of the forest in droves, numbering 30, 35, 40 of them. Breath fled my lungs. My muscles were trembling like mad. I clenched my eyes shut, tight, and tried to wish this nightmare away. Sweat was streaming down my face and dripping into the snouts of the terrible creatures gathered below. They were crowding in as tightly as they could, my broken body the very center of their world. "Mr. Wilson!" A man's voice cut through the night. "Mr. O'Donnell!" The deer's heads turned toward the voices coming from the ridge. The dozens of them cooed and grunted and chittered at once. "Mr. Wilson!" This was a different voice than the first. "Mr. O'Donnell!" The call was followed by the crack of a gunshot that echoed down in the valley. Whoever was up there was calling to me, firing into the air for my attention. They were looking for me, for Phil. "Help!" I screamed into the air, my lungs seared like hell from the effort. "Over here! Help!" I heard something over there, one of the distant voices called. "Mr. Wilson? Hey!" I cried with every mote of air in my chest. The deer men mewled in anger. They stamped their feet on the wet mud, still staring up at the ridge. But someone in the search party fired their rifle into the air again, and the clap of gunpowder reverberated in the hills. The deer men scrambled below and retreated from the clearing in every direction, snorting and howling as they vanished. "Mr. Wilson! Mr. O'Donnell!" The voices called again, much closer now. "Mr. Wilson!" I tried to yell again, but I was winded. My head was throbbing. I could feel the warm blood still dripping off the back of my head. The night air grew inexplicably cold and my world darkened. I awoke in a small hospital in Jasper, Indiana. My whole body ached and I was beyond exhausted. The nurse recounted to me what had happened while I was unconscious. Gerald Thorpe, the landowner who had rented us the cabin, had received a call from Phil around 11 that night. Phil was frantic and delirious and begging for help, but the signal was so poor that Mr. Thorpe could only make out the fear in Phil's voice, laced in the heavy static that crackled in the speaker. Mr. Thorpe tried to call us both several times, but there was no signal to reach, so he drove out to the cabin from his farm an hour away and found it empty, the inside completely wrecked. By some miracle, he and his sons had tracked my path through the woods and came across the grisly scene in the valley. The police were combing the woods for Phil's killers. The FBI was getting involved. The nurse informed me that a special detective would be visiting soon to take down my story. When the nurse went on to her next patient, I shut the television off and stared out the large window of my hospital room. The sun glowed a bright gold and the sky was cloudless. The world was carrying on as if the terror of the previous night had never happened. A detective was on his way, but what could I tell him? How could I tell him about the shrunken pale man with deer's heads and not sound insane? How could I convince a detective that I had been tracked for 3 miles through the dark forest by deer men? How could I ever tell the truth about what killed Phil Wilson in those woods?
That one is pretty good.
Chilling tales for dark nights.
So wait, it was deer people were in there? It was men with deer, like, actual, like, I don't understand. Or like they cut the deer's head off and then wore the deer's head? That one was pretty good. Mick82340, thanks for the biddies, my friend. That one was good. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. As you can see, I'm having a little trouble here with this one. I don't know why it's tripping out. I'm getting progressively more tired, which is obviously always doesn't help things. This one is, I don't know why it's causing so much trouble. It's just, there's something weird with the scale. It's like, you can see how the actual texture is super scaled up, which I was having a problem, so with the color mask size, so that might be an issue. Honestly, that might be it. Because I had a unknown function, unfortunately, causing trouble. I think this was ice. I'm curious if I change this, if this will do anything. Nope. Flowers always causing trouble. That was pretty good. No, it's a Native American monster. Oh, okay. Oh, is it the Wendigo thing? As far as I know, Wendigo, they don't go after deer. Okay. PMU on your Discord, you didn't see it. Oh, I apologize, man. I'm like in the, Oh, Buttman. My grandpa says your generation relies too much on technology. I replied, no, your generation relies too much on technology. Then unplugged his life support. More a joke than a spooky story, but anyways. Just want to see your reaction on stream. I like it. Then I unplugged his life support. Okay. Good. Very good. Oh man, I think Dave went to bed. Yield bed. A dingo stole my baby. All right. I got one more story. I think I'll come back to this one and... Well, no, I can't go on to the next one without getting this one fixed. Excuse me. So, I'm in a bit of an impasse. I wonder why that's happening. Oh, Voidy, what was your scary story? Think cannibals who wore deer to attract hunters to kill them? That's what I was thinking. Like zombies. That's what it feels... Because he was saying that there were people... Oh, don't say that, Angry Snake. What'd you say? Oh, jeez. The dingo stole the baby. It's hunters driven mad with hunger, run off to the woods and transform into monsters. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, because... But it's the deer god that... essentially changes them into that, right, Kate? So it's like these are just normal people, and then it's like, but then the deer god transformed them into this, and now they're crazy killers. See y'all. Oh, sun's going up. All right, Cypher, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by as always. Sorry, tomorrow if I can get a stream in, I'll try so we can actually get some flowers in the field. Unfortunately, this is taking longer, and I'm running into some hiccups, which is always something to be expected in the dev kit. Dear Jesus. I feel like Dear Jesus would be a lot cooler. Oh, that's a true story. Okay. I did not know that was a true story. That's always the first thing that people tend to if they're doing an Australian accent, they always just butcher it with that. I wonder, you know what? This could be one of those things where I legitimately Just missed a thing. I should just go over and make sure I didn't fuck anything up. Because that happened last time. Where's this window? Oh my god. There we go. Okay. Twitch, come back. Dave said you have a pony for me. Dave's a liar and a thief. But I have a pony for you. But you have to drive here to get it, though, unfortunately. Can I send a link here? Yeah, go for it. Just make sure it's nothing crazy. Oh, yeah, you're going to talk about the creature you saw. 9-week-old baby was taken and eaten by a dingo. Damn. That's rough. Was it like that they left their... I guess it doesn't matter, but I'm curious where the baby was when it got, when it was taken away. Or, when the dingo found it. If it was just like, you know, walk away. My children must feed. I just noticed that. Miss Coma, that was pretty good. Oh, in a tent. I see. Alright. So, pivot painter, wind, no. Diffuse is where we could have potential issue. Make sure that's set up properly. Good, good, good. Min. Lerpin, maxin. Although the color mask is what... It's got to be somewhere in this color mask that's causing a problem because I have 1300. I almost want to just turn this off. Is this going to destroy my material? Nope, didn't do anything. Whoopsies. For my pony then, Jackson, if you don't have it, I'm gonna poke you with a stick. Okay, that's fine. Negligent parents either way. Oh, I see. You know, it's a spooky story for you.
Oh, Canada, the land of woods, of
Oh, Jesus. Canada. Okay.
snow, of mysterious horrors and real monsters. This world is a
I don't know.
strange
Is this one gonna be good?
Now some of you think from my story request that I stated I am Canadian. I'm actually from Arkansas. Sorry for the
Gotcha.
confusion. I call the Canadians brethren because they are human. Just
I have a small stew. I have a small true story about me. A small stew about me. I have my own stew. I feed my sister to a gator. No, you didn't. Dingo story will come up. Okay. I don't know. Never hear that. Okay. Yay! Should we? What do you guys want to do? You guys want to listen to 5 true Canada scary stories? Or do we want to go with, what was it called? Trying to remember. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where did it go? It was here for a while and then it went away. The wolf. No, it's like gotta be down here somewhere. Or not. Maybe I don't know where the hell it is. Not animal cruelty. Oh, the well went bad on the Pearsons' farm. I don't know. Now I'm... We don't, I'll trade a dingo for an igloo. Canadian stories? Okay. Where is Sasquatch? We don't have igloo here. Well, not from where I come from. Okay, got you. Yeah, sure. We'll try the Canadian stories out and see how it goes.
Just as we all are. They're also our close neighbors who endure freezing temperatures and, as we'll soon see, terrifying beasts and horrific ghosts that prey on those who cross their paths. So sit back and relax.
And relax.
This time, Canada is getting the nightmare treatment.
All right,
There
I
are
like this
5
guy.
allegedly real Canadian scary stories.
I feel
Enjoy.
relaxed already.
But first, have you had some creepy encounters with crazy exes or on Valentine's Day? Send us your story soon at darknessprevails.org. I'd love to do something special for Valentine's Day this year. Also, to all of you out there that don't fixate on things like mispronunciation or whether or not my catchphrase makes sense, thank you. Thank you for not letting it ruin these stories
Good shout
that I
out,
love
dude.
reading to you. Now, I'm already freezing in this room, but are you ready for the cold fear of these stories? Number 1. Creature by the Truck. Submitted by Grace.
We'll listen to the first
This story
one.
took place in Alberta, Canada. I'm 18 years old now, but this took place when I was 16. My friend and I, let's call her B, were out at my farm here in Alberta, a beautiful rural setting with forests and fields. To give some brief details of the setting, the farmhouse is at the end of a very long driveway. Behind the farmhouse, there is a barn and a wide trail that leads back to a wide open field. And that's where we keep the cows and horses. Along that trail were 2 run-down trailers that my mom and her family used to live in, while her dad, my grandpa, built the farmhouse. B and I were out there with my mom, her now ex-boyfriend, and my younger brother. Nothing was really out of the usual. The snow was sparkling, it was fluffy and light, easy to sink into with every step. Our truck was parked up by the farmhouse, and all 5 of us were out back in search of a Christmas tree. We were pushing through the trees, but B and I decided to turn back as the sun started to disappear behind the trees. As my mom, her partner, and my brother continued on, B and I started heading back to the trail. It would take us back to the truck. And that was where everything went downhill.
Downhill.
Talking mindlessly, we passed the 2 trailers and rounded the corner, freezing in our tracks. I swear, in that moment, my heart dropped right into my stomach. Because there, standing on 2 legs right in front of our truck, was this thing. It was huge, and it had a pair of antlers. Its fur was thin, dark, and matted. Its back was hunched over, and its long, bony hands were pressed up against the window of the vehicle. B grabbed onto my arm, trying to pull me backwards. I slowly started to walk away, praying that the 7-foot horror in front of us did not notice our presence. It stood tall, and I knew that if it saw us, we would not be able to outrun it. Definitely
Not the deer
in
again.
the depth of the snow we were standing in.
Johnny!
I still remember the sound of its breathing. It was heavy and staggered. Its eyes seemed to disappear in its head. We were a good 14 feet away from this thing, thank God, and I was 99% sure that it hadn't spotted us. The first thing B and I thought to do was go into one of the trailers. The one that was unlocked was rotting from the inside, the floor practically gone. But with 4 walls and 1 tiny dirty window, it shielded us from whatever that thing was.
Okay, I can't handle it anymore. I feel like this guy, I feel like it's almost as if that guy is a Microsoft, just text to voice. It's just making me laugh and I can't focus. We had to hide in the spooky forest. Appreciate the video though, Mick. I was rooting for it, man. Hey Siri, tell me a scary story. Canada. Just Canada is this, but Okay, let's try a different one. Appreciate it though, Mick. It was worth a shot, man. To be fair, that's usually how most of the scary story nights go. We pick one of them, and then we suffer through it. And then we're like, no, why did we? And then next week we pray that if there's a good one. That's the thing. You never know. You just don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to see if I can shoot for another Otis Jiry one. The Crawling House on Black Pond Road. Okay. Narrated by Otis Jiry. I was inside of a spooky temple, looking for my pa. And that's when I saw it. 500 deer. Trapped in IKEA. Now that's a story I want to hear about. Windows to the Soul. 100 miles isn't so bad. The Phantom Coach. I think that's H.P. Lovecraft. No, that's not. Never mind. Or is it? No. The Mountains of Madness is a 4-hour story. H.P. Lovecraft. Damn, see, that's what I want to do one time. I'm just worried that people don't want to stick around for a 4-hour story, though. Hell, I could barely stay awake for a 4-hour story. That's a long story. Dereliction, the Insomnia, Conspiracy. Rabbits in the Creek. The Pale Man. Immune. Otis Jiry. Give me something good. Truck Stop Horror is always a classic. That one's good. Otis Jiry. Whoop. 4 Days in Dixie. Ethical Dilemma. A Family Thing in the Attic. A Cargo Cat. These are all short stories. Tony and the Beatles. The Lost Girl. The Haunting at Midnight. A Knock on the Window. Let's try, no. Maybe not. Come on. Hey, try this. Submitted myself.
Pretty good stuff.
Who's sending stuff? Angry Snake, thanks for the biddies, dude. Much appreciated. A Knock on the Window. Whoop. Stay out of the woods. Let's try this one. We're just gonna go for one. Whoa.
You're listening to the Otis Jiry channel.
Did I miss any good ones? Wasn't me. No, you didn't miss any good ones.
The Dauphin County Horror by Dave Stancliffe. Performed by Otis Jiry. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 1981. People began disappearing in the fall of 1979. Not long after, the 3 Mile Island accident happened on March 28th. The partial meltdown in reactor number 2 of 3 Mile Island Nuclear Generating Station, TMI-2, in Dauphin County caused widespread panic, locally and nationally. Despite company denials, radioactive gases and radioactive iodine were released into the environment. Nuclear agency experts assured the public there was no lasting damage done. The radioactive gases that escaped would soon dissipate, they told Dauphin County and Harrisburg residents. The incident was rated a 5 on the 7-point International Nuclear Event Scale, accident with wider consequences. It wasn't long before residents in Dauphin County reported seeing strange things in the woods in the aftermath of that accident. Strange lights and colors. A local farmer disappeared without a trace, leaving behind a bewildered family. A year later, a couple of hunters claimed they saw a man-like thing tearing a deer apart, limb by limb, on the way back to their pickup truck. It was dusk. When asked by friends at a bar afterwards why they didn't shoot the thing, both men said they didn't want to take the chance of killing a man. It was hard to make the figure out. He could have been a really big, strong man. As far as they could tell, he wasn't breaking any laws. That night, on their way home, one of the hunters asked the other, "Why didn't you say something about that thing eating the deer's raw flesh? How it tore pieces of meat off the legs with its bare teeth." Who would have believed us? But it's true. Don't you understand, Bob? It sounds like crazy talk, and people would be laughing at us. You don't want people laughing at you, do you? Henry dropped Bob off at his trailer. He didn't want Bob to know how shaken he was. He wasn't sure what they saw in the woods, but the next day, when he backtracked their trail, he found freshly broken deer leg bones, half a rib cage, and a skull with the eyes missing. In the following months, people began disappearing. Authorities searched everywhere, including the woods. People were warned not to go out alone after dark. A dark pall had descended over the county. Fear. Coffee shops were crowded with old men trading conspiracy theories like baseball cards. Bob and Henry went hunting again. They were both combat Vietnam veterans and never tired of one another's company or hunting. Both men lived alone. Bob's wife had died of breast cancer. Henry was divorced. His wife couldn't stand living with his PTSD. Both men carried Remington Model 783 bolt-action rifles with 3 9x40 scopes.
Wait, no! What are you doing?
For weeks they hunted for deer.
Who's raiding? How dare you raid in the middle of a story? Original Bog, what's going on, dude? Thanks for the raid, man. Holy smokes, that's the scariest thing that's happened all night. Oh, cheers, thank you. Thank you for the raid, friend. That was very well timed up with that with the hunting. The bong raid, yeah. LOL nobody. Thank you very much. We're in the middle of a spooky story. Basically, 1 Mile Island, something something radiation, and then these 2 Vietnam vets are going out to take a look. And that's what's happening.
Deer and signs of the mysterious man who now haunted their dreams. Was it a man? And if not, what? It was obviously powerful and elusive. The county sheriff was frantic. People continued disappearing.
Oh
the word was getting out to the world. Something bad was happening in tiny little Dauphin County. National reporters were seen around town talking with residents, sniffing around like curious squirrels on the scent of a story. Henry adjusted his new Pulsar Challenger GS 3.5 by 50 millimeter night vision scope. He made a decision. He was going to return to the jungle and hunt the thing out there. He didn't tell Bob. Both men were in their late 30s, but Bob wasn't in as good a shape as Henry was. There wasn't a pound of fat on him, unlike Bob, who was losing the battle of the bulge to sweets and pasta. As Henry prepared for his hunt, donning camos and filling ammunition clips. He thought back to his days in Vietnam as a tunnel rat. A flashlight and a .45 caliber pistol were all that stood between him and death when he slithered into the enemy's tunnels. He was once bitten by a venomous snake, but survived thanks to the savvy medic who carried snake antivenom with him in the bush. He packed his rucksack with enough supplies to stay out for a week. His web belt had a military K-bar knife, 2 20-round ammo pouches, 2 30-round ammo pouches, and 2 40-round ammo pouches, a compass, and a length of rope. He had a custom-made sling for his Heckler and Mach MP7 automatic pistol.
MP7?
The MP7 fired 4.6 times 30 millimeter ammunition capable of penetrating soft body armor. Henry liked that it was light, only weighing a couple of pounds, but could bring on major heat. He grabbed his bolt-action Remington with the new scope and locked the front door. He pinned a note on the front door, back in a week, visiting family. The first 3 nights there was no sign of the thing. On the 4th night, on a hunch, Henry was checking out the perimeter fence surrounding the 3 Mile Island generator plant when he heard a scream. Alarms went off and 2 security guards ran out of a small wooden shack. Henry watched them, though, through his scope. They ran around with automatic weapons, shouting. 2 more guards appeared, and they were also shouting frantically. From his position in the tree line, Henry watched the chaos unfold. Then he saw the thing. It had a man's body tucked into one massive arm and was loping along, seemingly unconcerned with the noise, less than 300 yards away. Suddenly, he burst into a run and disappeared further down the tree line. Henry jumped up from his kneeling position and gave chase. The thing was moving amazingly fast. It didn't make a lot of noise, but Henry's ears were still keen enough to hear it.
What the fuck?
After a hard 5-minute run, the trees opened up and Henry saw rolling hills. And nothing else. Where did the thing go? He felt exposed out in the open on a full moon that caused shadows to appear everywhere. Henry went back to the tree line and climbed halfway up a tall spruce. He picked a sturdy branch to sit on and lashed himself to the tree. He slept soundly, dreaming about a large underground complex he discovered in Cambodia in 1970. The next day, Henry walked around the hills looking for tracks and tunnels.
Oh, wait, did I forget?
It was well into the afternoon when he discovered a well-hidden cave that was big enough to stand upright in. The charnel house smell told him dead things were inside. He loosened his MP7 and popped a 40-round loader into the gun. Turning the LED light on his helmet to bright, he cautiously stepped into the dark interior. Minutes ticked by. At one point, the cave branched off to the left before continuing on in a straight line. Henry checked out the new opening and discovered mutilated human bodies inside.
Damn.
Skulls and rotted flesh in piles, broken bones, gnawed-on bones, flies and maggots, scraps of torn clothing clinging to headless torsos. This is where the missing people were, butchered and forgotten. As Henry took in the horror, his sense of survival kicked in when he heard a noise from within the cave. Something was grunting and growling. "It's not Charlie out there, good buddy," he murmured to no one. "His best
Not
defense
Charlie
is
out
a
there.
good offense," Henry used to tell his friends. No more thinking, time to act. Henry stepped out into the main tunnel and fired quick bursts in both directions. The shots thundered through the tunnels. No sign of the thing. Only the scent of gunpowder. He popped the loader out and replaced it with another 40-rounder. It was time to get out of the tunnel. It took him longer than he thought. He wasn't out of the putrid tunnel until nightfall. Instinctively, getting out in the open, Henry trotted over to the edge of the forest. He reslung his MP7 and unhitched the sling holding the Remington bolt action. He held the rifle up and peered through the night scope, waiting for the thing to appear. It troubled Henry that he didn't know what the thing looked like, or what it was. It was best to know your enemy. He learned to never underestimate the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong. To do so could mean your life. The more you knew, the better. Hours later, he spotted movement on a nearby hilltop. He focused the scope and found himself staring at the thing's face. It might have been a man's face once, but the grotesque thing he saw in the crosshairs was so misshapen it was unrecognizable as any known animal. He squeezed the trigger on his Remington. The shot caught the thing near one of its uneven eyes. It looked startled at the impact, but didn't fall down. Instead, it turned in his direction and charged. He fired the Remington one more time and dropped it while grabbing the MP7. In one motion, he popped a 30-round clip in it and fired away. The full burst only slowed the thing down. He tried to pop another clip in when the thing slammed into him, sending him violently backwards. The MP7 flew out of his hands as he fell. Without thinking, he drew his K-bar and staggered to his feet. His nose was bleeding profusely as the thing drew itself up. It was an abomination of a man, a hideous reminder of the perils of radiation and body transformation. Henry was startled to hear a gunshot. It sounded like a 12-gauge. Part of the thing's head disappeared, and another shot followed. The thing swayed drunkenly and took a step towards Henry. 2 shots hit this time, both barrels slamming into the thing's chest. A pause. Then 2 more shots, and the thing crumpled to the ground, both legs blown away. Bob stepped up to the still heaving body and ejected 2 shells. As he popped 2 more shells, and he asked Henry if he was all right. Then he fired both barrels again into the midsection. They burned the thing afterwards. As the 2 old friends walked away from the bonfire, Henry finally asked, "How did you know what I was doing, Bob?" "You haven't got any family left, like the note said, other than me." He chuckled. "I figured you wanted to hunt the thing, but didn't want me to go along in case I'd get hurt. So I just followed you, my friend, and covered you back." "Are we going to tell people what happened after the murders quit?" Bob wondered. "Hell no. They'll just think we're crazy veterans telling war stories," Henry assured him.
Okay, that was pretty good. I love that Bob came back at the end there. That was perfect. 10 out of 10 story. Dirty Shinehorn, take it easy. Not at Craven. I know, I just want to keep using the word Craven now. Uzi's better in the hands and shoots more accurately, really. Battle of the Balds. That's what I thought he said at first. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the mesh. Bob, like Beach Bob. Angry Snake. I'm new here. Every time. What am I supposed to... I'm curious to see what this does. If this will at least work for this one, maybe? I don't know. Specular. What else you got going here, my dude? I think it's something to do with these switches, though, but honestly don't know. Something's going wrong. Bob. Save me, Bob. The 1-2 Bob. Okay. I like that one. That was good. All right, one more, and unfortunately I don't know if I'm gonna get this tonight. These flowers might best me, but I am getting tired. Let me see. Let's see what this does. Okay. That's promising. I don't know. It's like half working here. What the fuck? Look at that little tiny flower. Something's going on for sure. Weird. Very weird. Basically, the material I'll be using for this one, this will have a master and then a material instance, and then the material instance made off of this, and then replace the diffuse and the mask and the normal for these. Should work, but there's something going on. Something's not right. I don't know what it is, to be honest. This one looks like the scale of the material, which I was having an unknown function issue with. And then this one, obviously, if this doesn't work, then this one's most likely not going to work. But I am surprised at how much this at least resembles a flower. But it's missing the actual leaves to it, so... I'm not entirely sure what's going on, because I usually don't mess with this stuff, but I want to practice and learn it, so you gotta learn one way or the other. Usually doing it on Twitch is not the right way to do it though, but it's all good. Try a simple mat, see if it still acts up. Yeah, I mean, oh, it's not the mesh itself. It's definitely not the mesh. The mesh is fine. It's something to do with I just set up the material improperly, which makes a lot of sense because I'm new to this. Yeah, we have both been here in our vault. Nothing beat the AK though. The classic Kalish, one of the best guns ever made. Dude, that gun is amazing. That story right there reminded me of Stalker. That made me want to play some Stalker Call of Pripyat. Speaking of good old Russian engineering. Yeah, I probably am missing a checkbox, to be honest, or one of the lines, but there's so much to look at. And I'm praying it's just a simple thing, because it's literally looks like this just needs to be shrunk down. Because, like, look how big this flower is. Way too big. It should look like, you know, about the size of these ones. These are cool looking flowers too. I really want to get... I'm thinking of either turning these into rare flowers, potentially, or maybe do like a field of rare flowers. We'll see. I honestly don't know yet. I gotta get them working though. Speaking of Kalish, banana loader is a must when getting it. Dude, I would totally have... An AK-47 would just be cool. I just want one. MP7s are always cool in games, but they run out of bullets so quickly. In a game, you're like, gone. It's like using the Vector in PUBG. Okay, let's do one more scary story. I'm gonna mess with this, and then I'm gonna... Whatever happens, happens. If we don't get it, we don't get it. I'll mess with it tomorrow. And then hopefully can do a stream and we can start putting some of these in, at least seeing how they feel in the Ark world. I might even do that before I go to sleep after the next story. Just drop them in, see what it looks like. Get a good feeling. Yeah, when using one of those, you need to play a gun game like when I play Call of Duty. Got you. Close out of that. Okay, one last story. I'm gonna pick a... let's go with... Outside the door. A step too far. Stranded. The Beast in the Cave. You know what? We're gonna go with The Beast in the Cave. Oh, it's H.P. Lovecraft. Let's do it.
You're listening to the Eldest Diary channel.
The Beast in the Cave. by H.P. Lovecraft, performed by Otis Jiry. The horrible conclusion, which had been gradually intruding itself upon my confused and reluctant mind, was now an awful certainty. I was lost, completely, hopelessly lost, in the vast and labyrinthine recess of the mammoth.
Oh, yeah,
cave.
yeah. Hold on.
Turn
Sorry,
as I
Voidy.
might, in no direction.
Hold on. I totally spaced on it. Voidy, where's your story at? Hold on. Thank you. Totally missed my story. Speaking of... Oh no! Voidy! You may have to say the story again. Or did you message me in Discord the story? Where's your story? You might have to say it again. I think I might... was gonna talk about the creature I saw... Yeah, you'll have to say it again. Good thing I copied it. Yeah, I'm glad you copied it, because I totally... I totally spaced. Yeah, sorry, man. You gotta paste it back in. Okay. We got this. I don't know what's going on, but we got it. Let's see. Scale mesh. What's going on in here? I'm gonna double check in here. Assuming everything's okay, but best not to assume. Double check. Let's see. Sick Flowers, dude. What game you working on? Oh, nothing. Just nothing. Did paste it back in? What? Seriously, is your story gone? I'm so sorry, Voidy. I'm so sorry. You don't have to type it out if you want, or I will give you time to type it again. My chat only goes up so far. And I obviously was... Yeah. It's up to you. What was that? Let me check my... Content browser, import. What was this? Clump 9 properties. That was FBX. That's good. I think 9 would be sideways. Fix would be should be good. Maybe it is just the wrong. Whoops. Cancel. Go back. Flowers. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it is the mesh. Maybe I somehow just got the wrong one. Although, no, that's gotta be the right. That's gotta be. I don't know. I'll check my OBJs. Actually, open these three. No. Okay. Let's see. See, all my my flowers are sideways. So I had to go in and fix the rotation. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be. It won't matter. Girl! Okay, it was the mesh. Holy shit. Wait, which one is this one? Oh, I see what happened. I grabbed clumps without a 2, not clumps. I just grabbed normal clumps, not clumps 2. God, this whole time. This whole fucking time. At least it was that. At least it was that. I'm glad. Thank you for reminding me to check the mesh. I think someone did. I can't remember now. You son of a bitch! Hooper! Hooper drives the boat, Chief. Yeah, I was looking at the material. I'm like, I set this up right. It's up in chat. No, sorry. Wait, you don't see it at above message? No, I don't see it. Something deer eater. You missed my story. What's with all the zombie deers? I'm just reading what you're saying. Jackson. Yeah, Jackson would voice over nice spooky stories. Bigums, what'd you just do? Oh my god. I would love to do some recordings for voice stories. Or for scary stories. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, dude. Look at my chat only goes up to Angry Snake. It says, I'll be there tomorrow for my pony. That's the last thing I see. I don't see it, man. I must behead you. Oh, I'm glad I did the material right. So that's one thing. But now I need to fix this mesh. Make sure those... is it doing that weird color thing again? I think it's okay. I need to recolor these a little bit. Voidy. Oh, okay, cool. Story time. Okay, so one night around 18 years ago, I saw something really weird outside my window. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to look at the stars. I use my telescope frequently. While looking at the stars, I heard a crashing sound, like something crashing against metal, which actually scared me. So I'd fall over and my telescope hit the glass on my window. After that thud of the telescope, I heard a high screech from something in the backyard, a sound I never heard before. I looked at the black backyard and saw two light green eyes looking directly at me. A hiss following and saw shiny pointing teeth under it. The eyes slowly lifted up. The thing stood up, revealing it almost as big as a man, slender but really beefy limbs. The head small but long. I heard another screech like the first one, but one from afar into the distance. The creature turned around and vanished in a matter of seconds. The next day we found a rabbit house? A rabbit house? In the backyard destroyed. Oh, we found our rabbit house in the backyard destroyed. The metal bars ripped out and the rabbit gone. I heard that screech of the creature one more time 12 years later, and 8 claw marks on our backyard door, right where we kept the new rabbits. Damn, dude. That's spooky. I like that story already, man. Kept the rabbits. Spooky as hell, man. You got some problems on your heads. You better have my pony. No pony for you. Okay. Let's see. Good to go, good to go. We repainted the door, but you can still see the claw marks. That's crazy, dude. Pony or Riot. I just want an Angry Snake emote now. Maybe that's what we'll make one of them. Oh, I can't even really make emotes, though. Never mind. I wish Twitch would just let you make emotes. It's like not that big of a deal. I just want an Angry Snake one, so he can just post a sad snake in there. Or an Angry Snake. Yeah, dude, that's nuts, man. What do you think it was? Something real spooky? Yeah, Angry Snake, you're gonna have to riot, dude. I can't get the... Yeah, I gotta make the money before they let you. I hate that you can't just have, like, emotes for the people. Emotes for the people. Okay. Let me do this really quick. It's gonna take a... This is gonna take some focus. No, wait, that mesh? Oh, Jesus. Okay, no, I got it. So I just imported the wrong one. That's right. So, clumps 2, not clumps 1. Gotta rotate it 90. Import. No smoothing was found. That's fine. You keep your smoothing to yourself, young man. Flowers. Well, let's call this Heather Fix 2, and let's pray that this works. Okay. We don't need to pray, we have science. Let's see. There's a lot of checkboxes right there that I might have just... I don't know anymore, I'm tired. Girl, I got you some flowers. Sweet, sweet victory. Man, these flowers have been... This has been a good learning experience, though, to be honest. Of course, I thought I was going to go without a hitch, but it did not. Okay, sweet. I honestly have no clue, but it's something bigger than I would be at this day. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm an affiliate, but they still don't let you do emotes, Genie. Oh yeah, you can have 3, sorry, but it's only for subscribing. Like, I just want emotes for the, you know, just for people to use kind of thing, not subscribe. I want a pony too. I mean, actually, you know what? I should just make the Angry Snake one be the subscription one. Why not? If compared in size, Kegs was going to draw a really shiny bald head for the subscriber one. Let's see. That's 2 pony. I like how I'm getting pony interest. What kind of back-end pony operation you running over there, Angry Snake? It's almost as big as our fence. I feel like you ran into some crazy thing that was super tall. Or that, like, on its back legs was super tall. You're not new here. I want the other. I want a pony too. And God. Dude, I'm backed up on my ponies as it is, guys. I can't just be handing out ponies left and right. Maybe we should make a pony emote. An Angry Snake emote and then a pony emote. So people can just have their pony. Give me a pony now. It was just a crack addict living in the woods. And then he got called by another crack addict. It could be. Could be just some crazy dudes that are just drunk. Just messing with you. Oh my god, Bong. I don't have another pony. Unicorn, Snow Cherub, you're asking for... You're crossing the line right there. 3 ponies now. Come on, guys. You know we just started. Okay. So, in theory... Oh, but then why wouldn't... Oh, maybe these had another one as well? So I must have messed these up? I must have messed these up then. Really quickly. So, delete this. Goodbye. You're out. Static mesh. Flowers. Yarrow. So maybe... No, but look how... That is gotta be working. There's no way that's... I don't... Maybe it is just the wrong one. Let's do the import again for the Yarrows. Maybe these last 2 meshes I just messed up. That's totally possible. I don't know if these were which ones were the right ones. We'll find out. Yep, looks like I just messed it up. On the importing the wrong one. I have so many meshes now that it's getting a little confusing. Although, oh, what the fuck? What? Okay, maybe it's not these ones. Oh, wait, well, I do need to use the actual derp. They're trying to work. That looks... let's see. Let's see. Yarrow UV. Flowers. It's been come on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Exactly. Perfect. Thanks, Flowers. You're doing me a solid tonight. Oh my god. It's something's going on. I don't know. Jackson owes us all ponies. He messed up. Dude, it messed up big time. Your pony operation is expanded tenfold. I want my baby back, baby back. What are you doing in here? What's up, Super Soldier? How's it going?
Hey, Chief.
Bog, what's going on? Thanks for the biddies, man.
Pretty good stuff.
Unicorn pony? Oh, dude, now that's way too much. That's some kind of abomination. A unicorn pony? I don't think humans let out high-pitched screeches. I don't know, man. You drink enough and you can anything's possible. I do live near the woods and sometimes end up on the road, but we don't have crack addicts in our town. Yeah, I doubt it was if somebody's that's just bad planning if you're out in the woods and that's also the place where you're doing the crack. That guy must have been really hungry if he just went right for the rabbits. Rip, one pony for everyone to riot.
Pretty good stuff.
Thanks, man. Now I gotta do the pony emote. We're backed up, man. Look at that. 4 ponies, 5 ponies, 6 ponies, 7 ponies. Alright. We'll get some ponies going. It's gonna take some time, guys. You can't just fathom up a pony from midair. It takes work. I don't know. Not because the material's working. You can even see the flowers. They're right there. What in the fudge-steens is going on? Let me take a look at the other... See if I'm missing something. What's this one? What do these normally have? Why don't I just look at that first? What have I done? No, that's the right one, dude. Remove. Is that gonna change anything? Maybe? That looks like more flowers now, or maybe I'm tripping out. I don't know. It was a checkbox. We're in the money. We got some flowers. Okay, so this mesh was fine. I didn't have to import all those other ones. Dude, we're solid. Yeah, I think we'll turn these into rare flowers. So go pick these up. And we'll tint them blue. And then we'll be good to go. Man, that's exciting. Okay, so Yarrow fix. Those are good. I can just delete these now. Hell yeah. Look at that. Taking care of business. Now I want baby back ribs, you son of a bitch. Are there even Chili's still open? I don't even know. I have not been to Chili's in forever. Euro save is... God, it's literally a checkbox. So frustrating. Sometimes you Unreal, you bastard. And then let's also get this one going with... Yo. Alrighty. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see... Just go drop these in the map. Kind of get a feel for what they look like and how they look next to everything else. And then I think we're going to call it instead of doing another scary story. Because I'm getting tired and it's already 1:02. Son of a bitch. Okay. Get out of my test area. I have 2 words. Pineapple pizza. I want a pony and pineapple pizza. Okay. This is getting out of hand back here. It is getting out of hand, Genie. You guys scared the moderator away. Jesus, how messed up do you have to be to end up in the woods after smoking crack? I was going to say, it's a lot of work. Wildcard has ponies, make them do it. Dude, I wish Wildcard had ponies. Can you imagine that was a thing you got if you joined? You're like, and you get a pony. Like, forget healthcare. This pony is what you're going to invest in. I want to keep going for another hour. I would if I got stuff I got to work on tomorrow for, I got wildcard stuff to do tomorrow. And then maybe I want to do another stream tomorrow if possible. That'd be cool. Scared away, I'm just tired. Fair enough. Are baby back ribs made with real babies? That's an age-old question, my friend. I want my dingo back. Oh my god. Continue layers will keep you up. Dude, that game, I do want to play that too. Damn it. Why? This is the only thing that sucks about having a job is you can't stay up as late. Thanks, Jackson. Love you. Yeah, dude, I got you. Chaos. Leak. Please refrain from caps, Bigums. Bigums just gets himself shot down every time. More Red Bull? I don't even have. Leak extinction. More. Unemployment still getting paid? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I can't leak anything. As soon as I can say anything, I'll tell you guys. Little secret tidbits if I can. But right now, just nothing I can talk about. It's all secret. I can't say it's gonna be dope though. Well, it's gonna be exciting. I'm thrilled. It's thrilling to be able to be working on it. And knowing that everyone's gonna get a chance to play it. Pony time! Dude, I want pony time to be a thing too. I do miss... That's the most difficult thing, I think, is... Because I usually used to only really work at nighttime. Well, like, into the morning was always my jam, because that's when I'm most creative. But now my whole creativity is... My whole, like, creative spectrum is so messed up. It's like, trying to be creative in the morning is difficult. But then, like, I'm too tired to be creative at night. So it's like, because I'm just exhausted from working during the day. But I'm working on it. Frog Rain. Dude, I still want Frog Rain. Did you know that scientists still don't know exactly why that happens? Only because it doesn't happen that often, so it's kind of hard to get numbers on it. I was reading an article and then watched a video about it. It's really interesting. But it's definitely a thing. It's been recorded back to a really long time ago where it's actually happened. And it does happen in some places more often than others. Okay, look at that. We're back finally in the map. So let's go run over here really quick and see what this is gonna look like. Okay, camera. Just, you win, camera. I'm going to 7. Hold on, let's throw on some... Throw me some tunes. Okay. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Let's... Environment. I feel like it's 4 in the morning for me right now, which sucks. That's how tired I feel. I just need any of these, really, doesn't matter. No, not landscape, son of a bitch. For the amount of times I've done that, I owe like $500 to the dev kit. Alright, let's see what this looks like, shall we? Well, that's a big ass brush. Let's do radius 100. Let's see if we can crunch a little numbers. Okay. Oh, cool. I don't know. Oh, there they are. They're very tiny. Okay, already dope. Already dope. Let's get those. We might want to do not uniform scale and bump our Z up, maybe. Try that. This is going to be like old Ragnarok days right here. Let's do 0.8. And let's just get our scale down to 10 really quick. Move everything back over. Damn. I was expecting some crazy stuff, but apparently not that crazy. It's very tame, actually, for painting. Those are still pretty small, though, too. 2. Let's get these to 1.2. Let's get our density up to like 20 or 14. Jackson, did you and Dave work on the Dino TLC number 2? No, we didn't. That would be programming side for the most part, as well as modeling and some new animations as well. So we do get to see everything while it's going though, which is cool. It's 4 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, it feels like 4 a.m. for me right now. No, see the problem is now flower. Yeah, that's unfortunate. The best thing for me to do would be to throw down. Maybe we'll do that. I'm so tired. God damn it. My brain's like 2 steps ahead of my hand for clicking. Let's go back to uniform scale. Forget the other one. Let's just go 2 across the board. 20. There we go. Alright, not bad, not bad. I might do, because the plan is right now is to basically do like our own custom mask. I'm gonna mask out like an entire field area, and then the mask will contain like a field of flowers. And we'll be able to use clutter, which will basically help minimize not having to use the actual foliage asset like I'm using right now. Because obviously that gets expensive when you have a lot of flowers going on. Look at those gorgeous mountains back there. Let's see. I do like, these flowers turned out pretty good, I will say. I'm pretty happy about these. Definitely so much better than Ark's flowers. Or not Ark, but I guess island flowers, I should say. It definitely turned out nicely. I'm very happy about that. I need to get some sleep. Jeannie, I don't even know how late it is there, dude. Place the parasaur with pony sounds? Dude, you could do that in a mod, no problem. It's 4:07, why am I not sleeping? Dude, I ask myself that all the time. Water spouts can cause rain frogs, just like buffalo have wings. Oh, okay. The longest cliffhanger ever? Oh, for for Layers of Fear. That's right, it is the longest. Dude, I know. I gotta next weekend. I gotta finish it. I just gotta finish it. I wanted to play it on Friday, but it's just so tired. I'm so freaking tired. Okay. Don't just sit here. Let's drop another one of these in. So there's those flowers. I might replace the clutter really quick, see what it looks like. Copy here. Field, internal. Okay, save. It's still named Azalea, I gotta change that too. Field scab. Come on, computer. Oh yeah, I suppose I can close out of my other Unreal. That would help out tremendously right now. Thank you. Okay. So let's see now how these are looking. Get a beat on these flowers, see if they're cool or not. Or don't paint anything down, my bad. Uh-oh. I forgot to set the thing. 1 second. Oh, Christies. Field scab instance. I gotta fix that too. ¿Por qué, señor? Oh, what the? What the fuck? Look at these ones are blue. That's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that to be straight up. Oh wait, are they blue and then turn purple? Are they just straight up blue? I think there's some sort of color. There must be some sort of color thing on one of the other things. I think. That's tripped me out. Interesting. Aren't these arc flowers? No, these are not arc flowers. I think of tables, ladders, and chairs. No, it's not. It's not bad. The new trike looks anorexic and on drugs. I honestly haven't... That's the one thing I haven't seen yet is the trike. These are so similar. I do like these flowers though. I don't understand why some are blue. Oh, you know, it's gotta be, it's just one of the settings. It's probably got a color range. Yeah, I just said that. I'll shut up. Cause look, these ones are turning like green. What is going on? There's definitely something crazy going on right now, but I like it. I love it. It's actually kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Let me go see what this looks like. Let's go say hi to Mr. Woolly Mammoth. Drop some flowers nearby him. Preferably not on him. These flowers too, I feel like I can get away with like more of like a 1.3, 1.6. Let's see. Yeah. Ah, it's so gorgeous. I swear, it's just little tiny things. Just help drive so much change. Almost doesn't even feel like Arc, to be honest. Which is cool. It's a good, refreshing feeling to be straight up. It seems you can't escape the crack. The flowers are smoking crack. Yeah, tonight's been it's been crazy zombie deers almost in every story. I was surprised at how well that thematic progression in each story went just instantly to zombie deer. And then obviously we've got Voidy's had some scary thing going on in his backyard attacking his rabbit house for whoever knows, but we're gonna assume crack. And then we the new trike you're saying is on crack. I'll have to take a look. I got to see the Sarco, and I got to see the Argentavis and the T-Rex, and then as far as that, I can't remember. The wolf as well, but those are already in. Those are old ones. I really like these flowers. I'm digging this so much. Makes me so happy that they're working. I was worried that it was not gonna work, to be straight up. Okay, let's try the other two flowers out. I'm not gonna save any of this anyways. Copy here. Since I gotta name these properly and everything as well, so. Okay. Heather fix 2. Save. Okay. Alright, what do you got going here, Mr. Feather? Let's back it up. Let's go, like, way down yonder. Oh, duh. Forgot to do that, too. Probably have to do that for all the other ones. God, that lags out the computer so bad. Okay. This is the one I think would be fun to do a big field of in some regard. Let's do like 40. These are almost at the size where they almost look like they should be collectible. Man, those are so cool. I love it. Fucking love it. We're done with the map already. Just paint flowers down. You're good, dude. These are really... Whoop. Well, good thing I'm not saving. These are really nice looking. And that transition is so good. Damn. Not ugly at all. Still in the office, and what do the devs do in their spare time? Dude, man, I think most people just sleep, to be honest. A lot of people stay late. I like the blue, green, and purple flowers more. That's fair. I like these ones for, I'm trying to think of... There's places like in Washington that have similar kind of purple aesthetic. I'd like to do this in between gaps of really heavily wooded areas. Not in the plains, I don't think. I don't think these really do a nice job for plains, but in between, let's go see what it looks like, actually. Let's see. Let's try dropping some in, like, right here. Yeah, something like this. I love it. Devs in their spare time should be sending sunflowers. I don't know. Do they have sunflowers in Washington? Are there wild sunflowers? Suppose there's gotta be, right? Somewhere. I feel like the word sun, though, you know, like they need a lot of sun. Which Seattle isn't always too kind about. But I don't know much about flowers, to be perfectly honest. Alright, let's copy here. Oh my god, computer. Taking fire. Oh, we need 2 of these. Maybe that's the joke of it. Sunflowers don't even need sun. Gotcha. Okay. My computer's having so much trouble right now. Come on, computer. You got this. These would be great. Like a poppy field is what I'm feeling for these. There we go. Okay. Oh man, yeah, those turned out real nice. Flowered up. More flowers, always more flowers. These almost need to be a little bit taller to beat. Problem with Ark's grass in general is that it's very tall. It's not really like normal grass. It's kind of more like weeds growing up. Because it's just so freaking tall. The player's foot is like encroached in it, so... I just need to raise the size of the flowers up by like a bit. Monkeys ruin them? We don't have an ocean? Yeah, we don't have an ocean in this map. What do you got, Genie? Oh yeah, there you go, look at that. That's literally what I was thinking about. Yeah, and then like in between some cool trees. That's perfect. Flower power as in hippies? So where's the Viking ship on this map? It'll be under the map like the other one was in Ragnarok. I think that's deleted now. I think Jeremy yelled at us. Yeah, we were thinking about doing custom grass, but once again, Ark's grass in itself isn't bad. I'm just complaining about the height of the grass. Isn't necessarily my favorite thing. Might even be cool to vary it a little bit more. But there's a lot of things we can mess with, which is really cool. I would definitely want to do, at least try it. Just messing with masking out specific places alone is already going to be really cool. Especially like getting ferns and stuff. Yeah, no, that is nice. Okay. Oh, Jesus. See now what? Let's see. Whoop. I don't know what just happened. My Unreal is tripping out so hardcore right now. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god. Oh, well, no, I mean, to be fair, the boat under the map was just there so we could copy and paste it. It wasn't there for to be an Easter egg. No, Ragnarok has a lot of Easter eggs in it. I still would like to throw a few more in this map as well. Well, no, we always do. We always throw Easter eggs in. So let's see here. Let's go someplace. Let's go like over here. What do we want to do? Let's try that, was it the scab one? What the fuck is going on with my editor? My details panel? Everything's going, my whole editor. Okay, that was about to happen. That was about to happen. Okay, that's fair. Everything is like tripping out on my editor. I'm trying to click on stuff and it's not doing anything. I have had 2 editors open for like way too long though. Okay guys. I think that was a grand old sign that it's finally time to say good evening. Or end of the evening. Yeah, good time to end the stream. Yeah, I've discovered every nook and cranny on Ragnarok. Yeah, no, it's doing Easter eggs is a lot of fun, especially there's gonna be one actually. Oh, speaking of Easter eggs, now you guys reminded me. There's gonna be one Easter egg on this map that I'm gonna award a prize to, and I can't go into details what the prize is, but the prize is gonna be pretty cool if you win. One lucky person, whoever the first person to send it to me. Obviously, if someone knows about the secret already, then you're out of the contest. But or if you know the answer before the contest starts. But I'm gonna have a contest for people. If they find one of the secrets, they're gonna get a cool surprise. So, DevKit's saying bedtime. Dude, there was a stream where a guy was walking up to the stones and he was like, "This is cool," and then he walked up to it and he pressed E on it and he's like, "Whoa, what the?" And then he kept pressing E and then he saw the letter on the ground and he's like, "What the?" He's like, what does this mean? And then it started a whole conspiracy theory. It was pretty good. Leak for extinction is the prize. Yeah, no, it'd be cooler than that. That'd be cooler than that. But it's gonna be like no hints or anything. But yeah. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. Sorry, I wanted to do the field today, but obviously flower issues. But I'm glad all the flowers are working. They look super nice. They're really, I think, gonna drive the map to be. It already feels really unique, and I think it's gonna be even more unique the more we keep adding these little things and changes. And I think it's all gonna come together really nicely. I'm really excited. But anyways, guys, everyone take it easy. Thanks for listening to Scary Stories. We'll find some better ones if we can next time. Maybe. You guys, it's always a, roll the dice. But yeah. Good night, Thorn. And yeah, let's get some more, we'll get some more, some rat slaying in. Gotta talk to Glitch too. Cooler than DLC leak. It will be. Problem I had with finding your hidden spots without clues I can never find out or discover or not. Yeah, that's the thing with this map. It'll be a lot easier to find secrets. Because there's the biomes are gonna be as massive and span and be all over the place. Ragnarok's just so big. This is a big map too, but it's gonna be a lot easier to basically to kind of get your bearings because it's basically a forest. And it won't be anything well, there'll be some crazy stuff. There's gonna be some cool stuff at the end of the map, but another secret. Oh yeah. No, there'll be like one clue. There'll be one clue for it, probably. Sorry. With that one clue, you gotta find it. I should say. Chaos, take it easy. Anyways, but don't worry, Voidy. Everyone will get a chance. I'm excited, but I'm falling asleep at the computer. So let's call it a night. Everyone, take it easy. Stay safe on your Sunday, and happy St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. And yeah. Till next time.